This episode is brought to you by Face It League.
You're paid for your worth.
I was worth a little bit more than 50% of one legit RC for what it's worth. Remember?
What was our metric for you? Something. Oh no, you were the metric.
I was the metric. Yeah,
you were the
You measure
metric.
it in how many hunters you got paid.
yeah. So I think legit got paid 2 hunters to sleep in the office. And
What was
get
the
all
highest
done.
hunter ratio? Did anyone ever get like 7 hunters or 8 hunters?
I think
Most of the
right?
players.
Yeah, like the players were on almost 10 hunters. You know, like
10 hunters?
But they're doing. Look at the exact rollout. This is the exact rollout we did, Chris.
It is, map 1, it's the same. Their comp and ban is identical to what we did.
But we played that because we're playing as Ram.
The whole season, when we scrimmed Nightmare, it was the same shit. Like, they just, with players, you would go D.Va, he would go D.Va, you would go Xayah, he would go Xayah, and they would just do everything possible to get a mirror. Even if it's just one hero difference, they would always just end up on the exact same playstyle. But you can never win doing that because you need to understand why we're playing a hero like against what, you know?
They have no free thinkers on their team. Like, I have no idea why.
And they've got 4 coaches or something too. They've got they've got a mountain of coaches, and all they did was just copy our homework.
Do you think there's been a big drop off in the quality of play? You talked about in Overwatch League, it felt like year on year almost teams, it was getting more competitive, teams were getting better. How does OWCS compare to that? Welcome to episode 44 of Uncoachable. Hawk is our guest today, and he actually joins a long line of Atlanta Reign alumni who have joined the podcast. We've had UV, Qadsiah, Danny, but none of those guests have held a candle to Gator and the impact on the Uncoachable legacy that Gator has had. So Hawk, we're setting the bar quite high here, where Gator he was our breakout episode, you know, our most viewed episode on YouTube. And I feel like if anyone can follow in Gator's footsteps, it's you.
I don't know if I can do that. That was like right after Overwatch League ended, so there's no way I can be the one that. There's no way I had that many stories to like produce.
Just pick a nation, disparage it, blame all of Overwatch's problems on it. It's a fairly simple formula, actually. I thought we'd start you off with an easy one. I thought we'd start you off if you could rank some coaches you've worked with. So there's a few who might be present in the call. Obviously, you've got your current coach, Qadsiah, who you've had obviously a couple of months with now. Decent success. Obviously, Hunter, who helped coach you to a grand final of Overwatch League. And of course, long time tank teammate, Gator, who was your season 6 coach. So if we could do a sort of best to worst here.
Gator has to be bottom, right?
Nah, Gator will be top, I reckon. He loves Gator.
Top to bottom? Okay. I'd actually say, not even just because Chris is here. Chris is probably the best coach I've had. But I haven't really had many coaches, to be honest. Are we counting assistant coaches?
Can we get Qadsiah in the rankings as well? Because I feel like, you got brushed up against by Qadsiah at some point. Throw legit in there too. Like, we need to pad these rankings a little bit.
Barely. There's no way Qadsiah was a... No, I wasn't on the team. I was never on the main Overwatch League team with Qadsiah. So I'm putting Qadsiah for the top.
Oof.
I mean, it has to go to Brad. Like, Brad has to be number 2. Like, of all the, even if he wasn't like telling me how to play the game, in and out of game. I mean, out of game, he's just the GOAT. So he has to go number 2. You know, like, he just got stuff done. He got players on the team that need to be on the team.
So you think his prime contribution of getting the roster at the start, like sweet talking management was basically like the best coaching that he could have.
To be fair, fuck coaching. If you can just get the best players, it's actually unironically the biggest impact you can have by a mile. Though, like that's actually.
I just think I think Brad always had like some blind spot on the roster though. Like he always had an Ajax on the team for like the vast majority of the time.
Maybe,
but there was always a fatal flaw in the roster construction.
But I love Brad. He had the comp sheet. I love the comp sheet. The comp sheet.
You had the Iron Wall for some time. Like you had a whole lot going on in those offices.
I'll put Hunter number 3.
Just don't even
But-
bother. Just put me lower. Put me lower.
I mean, you should be lower for your contribution in Hawaii, your negative contribution in Hawaii, and then I guess it's just Gator and then legit, and then anyone else. Everyone else is like not really. I really don't remember them having them as a coach. Or
Did
didn't-
legit not get fired like a few days ago in Rivals 2?
Different, like the,
his contract ran out, but like no. Apparently, legit is a dominator coach in that game. Like, not even kidding. Like, he actually, like these people.
Who told you that? Who
Like,
told you that?
no,
That's
like,
it.
I'm
Tell me
not-
from Blake. Like,
I'm being 100% serious. Like, these people that like don't like they're all like relatively new like pro gamers and rivals, and they like, don't understand. Like, a lot of them don't even understand the concepts of like, high level Overwatch or like a hero shooter. So he could say like stuff like that, and he's like they really like him over there. So I'm glad he has like a place to be. And
well, he doesn't. They
do
They just let him run out of contract. Like.
I mean, I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm pretty sure they still want him. His contract just ended like along with other people. Like, so he's still like a wanted coach in that game. And I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna talk shit to legit because I love legit as well. So I just think when I had him as a coach, we just had so many people that just wanted to like just knew what they really wanted to do. So they didn't want to like they didn't want to listen to.
Oh, I
Like,
knew
you'd
what I
ask
wanted to
you-
do when he was in the office. Good God, it was.
You-
There was
we'd
intent
ask
every
you-
damn day.
We had Astro and Gator, like those guys are like good enough coaches, to, like pretty much run an entire team, even if they're players. So so yeah, I guess that's my list. Anyone else is like too short lived to have like as a real like mention.
You had Danny for half a decade, and you've just wiped him off the list. You completely neglected
Danny wasn't a
Danny
coach;
in
he was
the
an
rankings.
analyst. Danny had the numbers. There's no way Danny was not sending down bot reviews.
The numbers.
He might be
guy.
doing that now. He might be doing that now on Liquid, but I'm pretty sure he is doing that now. But he was not the head guy back in the day, or even close to the head guy. He was just the stats guy. He had all the numbers.
Part of the Atlanta machine.
Yeah, he's part of the iron wall of coaches.
Iron
yeah.
Wall, yeah.
Actually, he wasn't there. He was remote, so he wasn't.
He was
part of
he was spiritually
the
a part of
coach's
the
corner.
Iron Wall. Yeah.
How many coaches did you guys have at your prime? What was the most number on the wall?
Me or Sefi, Danny, Silent, Mentalist. I think it's 4. I had 4. That's season 3.
So there's a new wall potentially starting up 4 coaches. That's the magic number.
Oh, what team?
Team Liquid, of course.
We'll see.
Okay. Oh yeah, Team Liquid has. Never mind. They have an
staff.
arsenal. They have an arsenal of staff to disperse that are almost outnumbering their players. That's always been the
I don't
problem. It's
know.
been players versus staff, but they're about to outnumber their players. It's over. It's over for them.
The fact we
Team
went
Liquid's.
map 7 is like I've really had to like fight across an army.
taken
there
on
to
the
even
wall.
yeah.
You understand that, like, when you were, on that map 7, Ratha came bloody hopping in to clutch it up. Like, there's just no chance for you when you've got to go up against that level of coaching legacy.
Yeah.
So I don't
No,
know. I
it's
think
true.
it's just a
True.
miracle that you got to 7.
Agreed.
Should we talk a bit about SSG as well then? Because obviously, as we all know, I'm an integral part of the team. That's why I've also got the jersey. So I'm really glad that we made it. We came together as a group and got ourselves over the line. But I want to start first, Hawk, with your sort of decision to come back. Because obviously you took the step away and then you came back to SSG. So what was the initial thinking about why retire? And then what made you come back?
Originally, like after all ended, it was like pretty depressing because I spent 4 years away from home, like in Atlanta, or I guess the off season was really long all the time. But like it was like a very different change of pace. And then when you go from AL to OWCS, like take like a 5 to 9x pay cut compared to that. So that was pretty big. So I kind of needed to figure my life out, and I didn't really plan on coming back. At least for that like first like few months or like long after I stopped playing. I barely even play. I think I played the game only like a few times like while I was not playing until Hazard came out. But I think I came back because I have my life more figured out, and I don't treat Overwatch as a full-time, long-term career anymore. It's more just like a side passion. If I'm enjoying the game, if I'm not enjoying the game, then it's like there's no point. But also just like uh, one of the bigger contributors was like I remember seeing the Hanzo skin for Dallas, and I'm like, yeah, this is not a professional game anymore. So this is not gonna crowdfund it. There was also just like a lot of payment issues, and like it seemed very unprofessional after all ended. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, like Chris knows, like when you're not getting paid on time, and it just feels like such a war, like out of game, just like just to get paid. Especially when comparing to Overwatch League, where I never once on Atlanta, or like it was very rare for anyone, any org in Overwatch League to get paid not on time.
Yeah, it's true.
Maybe some of like maybe like Valiant or like Chengdu, like those teams that like were secluded towards the end of it all.
I got
like,
paid on time for my Valiant tenure, you know, like
yeah, I mean, I think more of like old like the Chinese version of Valiant.
Yeah, like even when they came back, like Seiko was probably getting paid on time.
Yeah, so like after Al ended, it just felt like very unprofessional, and I just didn't really want to be doing that full time anymore. But I guess like Lenny asked me over the summer after you guys bombed out in stage 2, you guys choked, and then I guess I mean, of course I asked them, is SSG a good org? And he's like, yeah, they're a good org. So I didn't want to get scammed there. I guess Chris didn't want to get scammed either after his time on
that was actually my number one priority.
So yeah, you just it's very I mean, I eventually got paid for my time on OWCS last year, but it was just a very big award and it was very unprofessional. I just didn't really it just took too long. Like it didn't seem like the best use of my time. But now I'm going to school, I go to classes in the morning and then I scrim in the afternoon. Like a lot of people do that and a lot of people go to school and then they scrim. So it felt like I could just do this and chill out.
Yeah, it feels like this is obviously going to sound biased since half of us are wearing an SSG jersey at the time, but I feel like Spacestation has always been like really up there, really in terms of professionalism and the way they look after and treat the players, staff, everything like that. So it feels like it's significantly rarer than it was in Overwatch League. Like what's the term? Like the minimum standard in Overwatch League was so much higher in terms of what the orgs would provide and what they'd look after, and their responsibilities and duties and everything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that nowadays. Yeah. I don't know, you go. You're the guest.
No, I don't think anything to say. I was gonna agree. Like, yeah, I think Spacestation is a really good org, and they've been transparent and like paid on time. Just good org. Just timely org. Like, like it's just respectable. Like, it shouldn't be like it's a pretty low bar, but like they passed the bar like for esports after franchising, so it's good.
Yeah. I think post Al for sure, like the standard just like doesn't exist anymore, to be honest, in terms of like what organizations are doing. Like lots and lots of people, like self included, like needing to chase money or not getting money, like over and over again, and it just feels like a really consistent thing. So, I mean, I think people really don't understand what it was like, pre and post breakup with Al in terms of like this standards shift. People really don't understand that it was just like something that was a completely set thing. You're on an employee contract in Atlanta or in California or whatever it may be, and you have like workers' rights. And then the alternative is just like you're an independent contractor for somebody that lives in another country, and you have no recourse if you don't get paid, and you have no way to chase it up whatsoever. Like the difference and the shift in standards and the level of enforcement that is applied around that, I mean, it just doesn't exist, right? Like, I think if you were an Overwatch League franchise and you weren't paying your players, like that would have been a really, really big deal, right? Like Overwatch League was massively stipending these organizations. Like they were giving money back to the orgs. So like if the orgs weren't paying the players, everything would have fallen to bits because Overwatch League would have stopped giving money to the orgs. Whereas this way, like whatever the partner program is and whatnot, like the level of like subsidy and stipending like clearly isn't the same. Like the standards of enforcement don't exist. Like like last year we signed up to an organization in EMEA and we just don't get paid for almost a year. Like to get our EWC money out takes literally like a full 10 months or something before we get our payment. And then there's been like 5 different nightmare stories on the EMEA side like in the past year. I think EMEA is probably a lot harder than NA. Like NA doesn't have the same level of trouble from the sounds of it. Like I can't think
agree.
of, I can't think of any North American orgs that have actually like not coughed up the money at the end of the day. Whereas on the EMEA side, I can think of a lot of horror stories in the past year and a half, 2 years, where like people have just never gotten their coin. Like, can you talk about it on the podcast? Have you even gotten all your money back by now, Chris, from 2 years?
So, I mean, we're actually pretty close, I would say. It was interesting that you guys may not know this, but you know the Bank of Saudi Arabia, it's notoriously slow. There's always issues and it's very difficult to get money out. But the way to grease the wheels of the Bank of Saudi Arabia is to go on Twitter and tweet. Because it turns out the money that couldn't come for months was in my account after 30 minutes once you just unlock the exploit, which is twitter.com. And since that exploit, it's been painful, but I think we're more or less getting there to the point now where so little is owed to most of us that I think there is no motivation for them to not pay us and risk another fucking tweet or something, you know? So I think at this stage, I think at the highest I was owed 10 grand. I think I'm only owed 1 grand now. And that was only because the people in accounting overpaid someone and underpaid me because, you know, they were meant to pay me, but they couldn't. Even when they mean to pay us, they still fucked it up. But I mean, that's fine. Because 1K, I'm so happy to go to war on Twitter with the org over 1K. Because if they burn the bridge with me, who gives a fuck? You know, it's more fun to see them burn to the ground. So they've got another week or two. But I actually think we will. It's the same thing. Everyone eventually gets paid, I think. I think that's true, right? Everybody gets scammed.
Yeah.
But I think everybody eventually gets what they're paid. But by the time they pay us, like, you've already fucked the motivation for the team across the season anyway. So you've already just fucked your investment anyway, you know?
And I think the other problem is that, you know, some of the people that are owed, like, they don't have savings, you know, they're actually relying on getting their paycheck to live. It's actually, it's normal to need the money for your job in order to live. And, you know, if an organization thinks that this is all just like play money to you and all a joke, then, like, you know, lots of people just can't compete. Lots of people, there's no way that they're going to play if it's like, oh yeah, you know, you'll probably get paid in 6 months. Like that's not fucking good enough. This is supposed to be a job.
I think what's good about how NA does it, like, it's like Hawk said, everybody's at school in NA. I think almost every single player that's competing is doing it as part of collegiate or on the side, you know? So everybody in NA is kind of like figured out like a way to transition like a full-time job that's dying into something like whilst using it. So for everyone, like if you get scammed and you go into school, it's just like, well, fuck it, like whatever, you know, I can join another org or whatever. Whereas in EU, you know, I think everyone in EU is doing the job full time. Honestly, that's what I think it is. Like, obviously, some of the orgs in EU pay outrageous. Well, it's even outrageous money, to be honest, compared to people in the real world. It's not that outrageous, but they get good salaries. But I think almost everybody in EU is there. Like, there's no one that's going to college in Europe at the same time, right? Because there's no collegiate or there's no way to do it.
Yeah, I think
That's crazy.
It's like a huge divide. Like, you talk about it being NA, EMEA, like open Twitch right now, open Overwatch Esports. Like, half of OWCS is playing right now on the Overwatch Esports channel.
Yeah, the collegiate's actually stacked in this home.
Brian Stratton versus St. Clair
tournament?
right now. Razor, Alex, Tread, Red X, Soaks versus Manually Peace, Dion, Proton, NY. Like, half of the fucking North American OWCS is on stream right now playing for their college teams. Like, there's a huge divide in terms of like how the sustainability is being achieved. Like, in EMEA, the sustainability is basically being achieved by you getting a bag that is ambiguously paid to you on over an unknown time frame. In North America, it's like you just get less money and your college is subsidizing your education. Like, NA feels way healthier, even though they're not getting paid. Even though they're not getting paid.
The only thing is the Europe, I would say in general, is easier to live off the salary than NA. You know, like NA is so expensive that, like, I think especially look at some players in certain European countries where the cost of living is so low that actually for some it's not, even in the UK, you know, like my salary isn't great, like, but once you encounter all my side hustles or basically uncoachable in fucking private coaching, it's actually not that expensive to live in Newcastle, you know. Once, like, me and the wife, like, split the rent and stuff. So it's a fine living. But there is like some players I know that are on like, especially the ones that are like 18 years old or like young, and they like getting like 2K a month, if that, and then their prize money is like, and then they're just trying to like live off it. But there's at least when we like, I remember when I guess I don't know if it was, I can't remember what your timeline was, Hawk. I guess I'm definitely older than you. But like when we were pre-Owl and we were getting paid to play, it was like everybody had this idea in their head that there was a promised land awaiting, you know? It was like, we're going to get shit money for a year, but if we make it into Owl, then this is going to be fucking crazy. Whereas now, like, I think, for example, if you're like a Gen.G player or something, you know, and you're that age and you're getting paid, I don't know what they get paid, but I don't think it's like, I'm not convinced it's like, it's barely minimum wage, you know? Like, I think genuinely it's like less than minimum wage. Like, I don't know what the hope is. I don't know what that utopia is, you know? Like, how much growth has it even got, if any, you know?
I mean, is it right to say that like more of the up and comers in the current era of Overwatch come from like countries that have lower costs to live? Is that actually true? I'm thinking about like some of the new talent in EMEA, like the breakout talent that have come out in OWCS. I feel like they come from countries that have like lower,
I have no idea how much
of living
it costs
overall
to live in Saudi Arabia, but like so much is subsidized over there, right? Like they have like an insane system.
You mean more like Spain and France and stuff?
Gala and Zodio, are they both Spanish? Is that Spanish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Spain cheap to live? I don't fucking know.
I imagine it's not. I actually don't know, but I'd guess it's not like much different than the UK, or like I wouldn't imagine it being more expensive than the UK.
Yeah, I would just think the UK is the most expensive. Like,
no, I would say like the Nordic countries like Denmark, Sweden, Norway are more expensive. I would maybe go Germany more expensive too. I think it also like in Europe, I don't know, I guess maybe it's the same in America because the difference between California or Nebraska or something is presumably significant. But the cost of living of Newcastle versus London is like insanely different. It's like 4x. If you live in a cheap part of Europe, like there's loads of cheap cities, I think. Whereas I feel like even in America, I don't know what the cheapest place in America to live, but I swear it's still fucking expensive.
I mean, if you're in the middle of nowhere, it's not going to be very much money at all. But yeah, I'd say there's just probably more cities that are just like super expensive to live in, like any big city, like New York, LA, Chicago, Atlanta, Miami, like they're all pretty expensive to live in. I think like a lot of people go to Texas and there's no like income tax, but other than that, any big city is like pretty expensive.
I mean, you sort of like you have to be on a high income to live in Texas, though, right? Like you only benefit from that tax stuff if you're earning a lot anyway, and it's not a cheap place to live because so many people want to move there, right? Maybe that's not true depending on where you go in Texas, or like.
I mean, just recently I was like just curious to look at the houses there. Like the relative like houses like are pretty cheap compared to like other.
Yeah, I mean it's still cheaper than living in one of the like actually really desirable cities in the US. I think the housing market had a little bit of like a pop because like I think they had like a bunch of tech bros like move there and then unmove there because they didn't want to live in Texas. But yeah, I don't know. Like I still think like a lot of the breakout talent, like we were talking about Spain in particular, right? Like I think, you know, if you're comparing like living in, you know, the center of the most desirable city to living in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, it's probably still cheaper to live in the middle of nowhere. But I think cost of living in general in Spain is like pretty substantially lower than in the UK. Like UK is an expensive country, and I don't know, it's hard on like what the average salary in Overwatch is. You can't live somewhere expensive unless you're like tremendously successful, or you're already, you know, someone like Funny Astro or something, you know, you're living off your Overwatch League money. You've already like invested that and, you know, set yourself up for the future in that regard. Because, yeah, I mean, there's just not enough money going around on an Overwatch Pro gamer's salary. If you're an 18-year-old, like you're not buying a house on your earnings from OWCS, right? Whereas if you lived in Overwatch League for a few years, everything was subsidized. The pay was like 5x. Like you were buying a house, you know, like that was not an unreasonable thing.
Oh, no, not at all.
Yeah.
Unless you're one of those that blew it all, like there's a few fucking horror stories, isn't there? People who like absolutely rinsed, like 400k of savings is just gone. But if you were like, even if you didn't invest it, if you just didn't spend it, then yeah, like I would say like 2 or 3 years in Owl, and you've actually got like an insane head start.
It's time for this week's sponsor. Faceit League C7 is starting, so Faceit have sponsored us again to tell you all about the wonderful things they are bringing to you in Season 7. The registration is open right now, and it continues to be the best way to compete in Overwatch. Sign-ups have risen from 248 in Season 4 to 420 already in Season 7, so the results kind of speak for themselves. There's more teams playing than ever, there's multiple tiers for different skill brackets, which means you'll be matched with teams of similar skill to you. Obviously, the more teams there are, the more likely you're going to get good matchmaking as well. There's in-game integration for all the lobbies, so it takes all the hassle and faff out of organising all these different things. So the service is only getting better and more popular, and it really is the best way to play Overwatch competitively.
And that's not all that's new. For the first time, the champions of EMEA and NA Master Tier are going to be able to face off in a show match, which is actually going to be broadcast live from World Finals in Stockholm, which means that there is all sorts of eyes going to be on this, and we're going to be able to find out who is the next up region. Is it going to be EU or is it going to be NA? There's a few Brits on both teams, which is pretty good. Obviously, with the World Cup going around the corner, there's maybe something to keep our eyes on. I think even though I'm a coach of NA these days, I still get the feeling that EU is gonna show up. I think Golden Pants might actually unironically be the next up Tang. And I think that if he can perform well in this show match, then there's a good chance to get eyes on him for World Cup and stuff. So there is all sorts of reasons to play and face it and get your name out there.
Yeah, I think Masters for Season 7, the one that we're talking about here, this isn't going to directly qualify you through to OWCS, but what it is going to do is it's going to skip you through the first stage of open qualification, and it's going to put you right into Phase 2 of OWCS qualifiers. So if you wanted to save yourself a little bit of time earlier next year, get through the early brackets of open quals for OWCS, Faceit Season 7 is the best way to go about that. The top 4 teams from Masters are going to go directly into that second phase for open quals. And this time around as well for Season 7, there's going to be a little bit of a difference in terms of the competition. Because of the way that all the tournaments have matched up, there's going to be a little bit of OWCS talent sprinkled throughout the rosters in Season 7 of Faceit Masters. So if you're looking to compete against and with the best, this is probably the best opportunity you're going to get as a Masters player to actually compete against some of the top players in the North American and European regions.
The best way to join the Faceit League is using our referral link, which is going to be on screen now. You get a discount for everyone who signs up using it. If you've used it in previous seasons, you can use it again, still get the same discount as you did last time. It's also one of the best ways to support the podcast. Last time around, when we did a campaign for Faceit, we actually won the referral program thanks to all of you fans who used our code. And Faceit paid for our producer to go to World Finals and get to experience it himself. They sorted his accommodation, his flights, everything out. So if you want to make a producer smile today, use the Uncoachable referral link that's on your screen right now. Sign up to Faceit League Season 7 and get your career going.
Oh, another thing, if you don't want to make a producer smile, still use our code, but put in the comments section, #deny Alpha a trip to next year's LAN. Thank you very much. These codes are repeatable, right, Xavier? You can use them whether it's a first-time referral or just renewing your subscription.
Yeah, 100%. You can use it any situation. If you've used it 50 billion times before, you can use it again for this season. If it's your first time, you can use it as well. Open to anyone to get discount competing from any region.
Yeah, it just depends what team you're on. Like, pay-wise as well. Or like where you're taxed. But other than that, it was...
I mean, fuck, dude. Like that Atlanta staffing salary got me on like some real generational wealth. I can't lie. Like that 2021 wage, god damn, getting paid. Oof, big bucks.
You're paid for your worth.
I was worth a little bit more than 50% of one legit RC. For what it's worth, remember?
What was our metric for you? Something. Oh no, you were the metric.
I was the metric. Yeah,
you were the
You measure
metric.
it in how many hunters you got paid.
Yeah. So I think legit got paid 2 hunters to sleep in the office. And
What was the highest hunter ratio? Did anyone ever get like 7 hunters or 8 hunters?
I think
Most of the
right?
players.
Yeah, well, the players were on almost 10 hunters. You know, like
10 hunters.
Pelly was on 8 and a bit hunters. So yeah.
Wait, I reckon
There was a
Carpe
pretty big
in
pay
his prime
disparity.
must have been
More than 10 hunters.
must have been like
Yeah.
15 whole hunters.
Why did Carpe join our scrim? The Carpe just joined our scrim one day. He got an Overwatch and just started spectating. That's awesome.
He always does it. He just like he'll come on and he always just message me some like combination of slurs and then asks and then comes in and says everyone's fucking shit and leave.
I mean, I don't doubt it. Like he's probably like, what has this game become? And then just leaves.
And he did it right, by the way.
He's got generational wealth.
He does. He owns like and he's so smart with his money too. Like he went like he's a fucking genius. But he like peaked out of Overwatch and then just straight into Valorant. Like I mean, he's a fucking legend.
Did he even play Overwatch 2?
Yeah, he did like one season, the last season, the one
first came out.
But then he was like benched for half of it, and he was like already washed. So like
because MM3 was playing for him, right?
Yeah, that was probably the last year of his monster contracts too, you know. And then
it got transferred over to Valorant.
Yeah, and then the same org, probably the same. I mean, what a fuck! That he's the richest. I think the richest Overwatch player is Carpe, 100%.
Yeah, I guess long-term Overwatch player. Yeah, it has to be him.
I think even his salary at his peak was probably the highest of any Overwatch player. I think.
I only heard rumors of it. Just like Carpe gets whatever he wants. I remember there was like some homestand where I just like, I mean, it's like it's not a lot of money, but I walk in, I'm like, why is it just a fresh G640 in the trash? And someone said that Carpe just throws out his like mouse pad every time he plays. And just buys another one. So I think I still probably have it. I probably have Carpe's mouse pad somewhere laying around. I just sitting in the trash. I like brand new. So yeah.
But it was like the season 3, there was like he ran out of contract at the season 2, so he had the bidding war. I think there was even like Albert like chucked in like a fake bid just to pump the price up for Carpe. But like you hear the numbers he was getting offered and you're like, oh my god, it was like 4 or 5 teams all just in like this like insane Carpe race. It was actually it was unbelievably like I thought I loved Carpe, but it was terrible investment too. Like I swear Hisu was better that season than Carpe immediately after his big contract anyway. All right.
We got a long one as well right now, multi-year, so it doesn't matter.
It was like 3 year or something, yeah. Which was also a mistake in hindsight because the league wasn't sustaining for 3 years at that rate. But what can you do, you know?
Well, if anything good came out of Overwatch League, at least we gave Carpe generational wealth.
Agreed.
And we gave Hawk a free G640.
Yeah,
I got free G640.
Everyone's a winner.
I got many free G640s from my time in Overwatch League.
I mean, I'm sitting on one right here. It's a bit dirty, but you know, if it works for whatever, we still got
Is that also
Microsoft run? Microsoft run on the company card, like just awesome times. Like just unheard of nowadays.
I just need the CC one more time just to feel something. Like,
I mean, I'll never feel that. I've thought about this. I'll probably never feel that amount of power like in my life. Yeah, just having like a card that's like it's just for like team expenses. Just awesome.
It was a joke. What was the most expensive team dinner you guys ever did in Atlanta?
I mean, like we had like. Sometimes at events we just invite other teams there. Like the Gladiators, like always hop on. A couple others like stragglers from other teams just hop on. We just like it was just a blast.
So
like it was really just a blast. I mean, Hunter was there for many of them. You weren't even Gladiators. He's probably there for almost all of them.
Yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes I'd tap you in for a corporate Gladiators dinner too. You know, like
yeah. I mean, I got a couple of corporate Gladiators meals in Hawaii. It was like, you know, we were just sharing the wealth of Overwatch League. It was very chill. You know, like, at some point, like these orgs kind of just owed each other the meals. But I think the most expensive thing had to be Brad's HQ. Like hotel in Hawaii.
Oh,
you remember
my
that?
God. Yes. Yeah.
That was
like prime real estate on the Hawaii fucking beach strip. Like, what's he doing? What's he doing?
I can't believe that got reimbursed, but that gave us a good run. That hotel room gave us a good run. So
yeah, Brad, I mean, he loved to spend a bit of the corporate money too. he had high hopes for how he could stretch that corporate CC, and I mean, you know what? They paid it, so power to him.
It feels like it's so hard to explain to people now what those years were like, because it seems like a
I think-
distant memory.
yeah.
Like it sounds made up.
No, like,
Yeah, I mean, it does. It was so
Yeah,
fun. Like people realize like how like I mean every day was kind of the same, good Instagram, but like every day was like eventful and fun and like I look back, even though it was in Atlanta, I didn't like I love Atlanta at the time. I still have like insane like memories of the city and like just fun moments, and I kind of think of it as like my 18 to 22 college years. So it was really fun.
I mean,
just
I
think
tell
like
people. No, you go.
back then, the kids that were getting involved, the people that were like getting into Overwatch League, like they were genuinely getting a once in a lifetime opportunity, you know? Like that's how it would be described. If you made it into tier 1 Overwatch esports, you were genuinely getting a once in a lifetime opportunity that you would never get to see again. What you get now if you make it into tier 1 Overwatch, I mean, you're playing online matches
salary.
all year. Yeah. You're playing online matches all year and you're learning what it's like to ask for pay 6 months after it's due to you, you know? Like that's where we're at.
I like tell people
Always-
what I do when I
yeah.
meet them, right? And it's like I describe my life now, and it's not that exciting. And I'll always like caveat, but I was like, well, in season 2, okay, I lived in like it. Like the thing about what we like. Were you in season 2, Hawk, or when did you join?
No, I was just gonna say like I always regret not being in season 1 and 2 because I mean obviously I loved the game back then.
Glory
but just
years.
but the experience of like to be in
Oh.
LA would. I
What
never
about-
went to a game, but I did go to the Atlanta house though, and I was just like,
It's
it was
insane,
legendary.
right?
It was.
What
Did
about-
you ever go to Atlanta one?
No, I don't think
The
so. I
Atlanta
think
house?
where did I go? There was one. I mean, we had some season 2 was crazy. Honestly, were you in season 2, Max?
No, I didn't get in until I was a COVID baby, you know, like people started dropping like flies because of COVID and I got a remote job. Like I would
that
have
the Valiant?
loved
Yeah.
LA, dude. Like if you think Geekay with
When
the
everyone
iron
was living
shoulder was
there?
bad, like I wouldn't have lasted with whatever was happening in the back rooms there. Like,
We could have hit so much more entertaining now. Like if we,
Yeah.
oh my god, it would have been so good. I mean, from the stories I hear of people on Atlanta back then, they're also like a great time, and you know, like everyone's having, you know, like
and
you're living
Lair
in
just
a
goes
giant
missing for a
mansion.
week, like
Who?
and Lair or whatever his name is. the
Oh yeah,
Russian
like
guy
he's just on like
goes
some
missing.
done some like benders going on like I don't know, but those I always wish I was in this. Because whenever I
And it's-
visited, or I visited one time, it is awesome. So
Because it's like all of the house tours of season 2 were just like in Philly, right? We lived in, it was like, and all of this is fucking true. It was like a 9-bedroom house in Toluca Lake, LA, which is like the nicest area. We had a private chef. We had our own pool. We had a like business class flights. Do you know who Ray Romano is? Like the guy from Everyone Loves Raymond.
Yeah.
You had Raven
He-
come round.
He fucking came around because he was buying the house after we were leaving. Like that's the level of house we had. Was Ray Romano came round at the end of season 2 and was like, "Well, it's pretty fucking cool what you guys are doing here. Like, I want to buy the house." You know, I was watching some fucking terrible reality TV show on Netflix about them, like these like $20 million houses in LA. And it's like the same areas and the same houses that we all lived in, you know, and we turned into pigsties too. Like we disrespected these $20 million fucking houses like at an extreme level.
I just can't believe Ray Romano probably sleeps in Joe Meister's bedroom now.
Yes, it probably is what that's like. It probably is it, you know.
you get the best room. Joe Meister got the best room.
I don't
You
know
would
who
hope
got.
so, right? Age
The
of
way
authority.
they did that on Philly was all 4 Koreans had one room, and then everybody else got a solo room. And who got the nicest room? So I think by the time I went, Poco had negotiated Poco had negotiated a
this house
separate
is so
apartment.
insane.
Like a
Think
separate
Blake and
apartment. So
Dogman.
he didn't even stay here. I mean, the Atlanta one was insane. Who had the best? The London one was insane too. Like with the Korean London.
No, this house was so good. Like
I mean-
maybe it wasn't the best like house, but like you know, had a pool, had a hot tub, had like a basketball court. Like there's
These
the
private
chef
chefs
right there.
too. Yeah, this
The
is
chef-
insane
no,
actually,
the
right?
chef was so good. He made some crazy ribs when I was there. I was like, oh my god, I've never had that good ribs again. But yeah, like
Are you ever
I
considered
went
two?
there.
Like,
No,
sorry,
but-
but you ever considered 2 with Dogman on the screen? How many absolute shit players lived an absolute fucking dream in season 1 and 2? Like season 1, like some people probably got contracts which are unfathomable in the modern day.
I mean, like,
feel like the
wasn't
salaries went up,
Boink
though.
on wasn't Boink like on over 200K for
Yeah,
like 200K?
200K. So like 2 years as well. It's a 2-year contract or something. So he couldn't be fired as well. So he just got all of the money.
Cormac got like 3 years after first year or something. So they were stuck with him for like a full 4 years or something. And he moved to like a managerial position within the organization to get him off the roster to keep honoring his contract. Like, there was so much money in this shit. You need to understand. Like, watch the videos that are on the screen right now with whoever's, benching 2 plates in the Smith. Like, look up Atlanta Reign, SF Shock, New York Excelsior, Vancouver Titans house tour on YouTube, and you will see like just how fucked up it was. The Vancouver one's so funny. It's like Harsha, the one English-speaking guy on the team, doing a house tour for a bunch of Koreans. Like it's just insane, like actually insane what people were afforded. You're in these like ultra desirable cities, these super expensive cities.
Oh my
You're
God.
in mega mansions, like Monopoly mansions, the penthouse suite for a full year to play video games. And half of the people, at least this team, was good. Half of the people in these videos, they're bums. They're like the worst players ever. Like that was Dogman walking around in the house. What was Dogman's Overwatch League career like? And that's he was the starter, wasn't he? Like it was him.
There was someone worse than him
he
somewhere. I mean, you would get paid like 150K and live in these to be like the 9th man on a roster. Like not even like not the 7th man, like the 9th fucking player, and you got paid 150K.
Okay, maybe that's not true. There's no like,
dude. Okay,
Well, Boink wasn't a
some
starter.
teams,
Boink
but-
was on 200K and was benched.
okay,
for
Boink,
2
Boink, yes,
seasons.
and but the starter players at Atlanta were not making that much. Like
Just the concept that there was an exception to the rule more than once that's getting paid 200K to be on the bench is madness.
Think about how Fusion in season 1 did a 12-man. How many teams did 12-man rosters in season 1?
Loads
3
at the
was a
start.
disaster.
Yeah.
Season 3, 12-man roster was an absolute disaster. Complete
Like,
disaster.
what the
12-man
fuck
rosters
is
were
it?
awful.
Yeah. How much money is a 12-man? These days, people are like, I'm not doing more than 5 on minimum wage. Like, fuck that. And they were like, yeah, we'll do 12. Yeah, go on. Slide one more in.
I remember starting season 3, like this is like right after like the mansion days where people go to their own cities and go to apartments. But like we had the plan was before COVID to have Michael 3D like drive the van and like set up like the computers and help set up computers like at the homestands, and we would like maybe send one team or maybe sometimes another team would go like of the 12-man roster to go play a match at a homestand, and it was just like. This is just so ambitious. Like thinking about it now, like it's unbelievably ambitious. Like the traveling would have been awful.
Yeah, really
like,
would have.
I mean, I was already very fatigued and like very like annoyed about like the traveling because like I felt like I never was able to play the game in season 3, and then we only did it for like a couple of weeks or like a month max. But yeah, like it was just even though season 2 was ambitious, I feel like season 3 might even be more expensive and more ambitious. Like what they want to do.
I think the aspirations were like absolutely outrageous. It just didn't. Like, what would have happened if that year played out? Like,
I think it would have been an absolute car crash. Like by the time we
think a lot
got
of people
sort of
would have
midway through the season, people
yeah.
would have been like exhausted, mentally like gone. Like it wouldn't have been sustainable at all for so many people.
Like we had to go to. There was so much money. We had to go to Philly to like go take pictures. Like we literally went there to go take pictures, but not to play because there was a homestand going on there. We went. We got on a plane. Took out like 2 days our time to go take like league photos for season 3, and it's like that just seems like such a big like waste of money, putting us all in hotels and everything. So like you can like see like the outlines of it starting to go downhill. And I didn't like season 3 that much. I didn't like. I always wanted to experience the season 2 like in one stuff and like in one place, but. I think they found their own like little thing after season 3 that would have like worked. Not like the traveling everywhere. That would have been a disaster.
I remember seeing
feel
like
like-
in the lead-in to season 3, there was like a travel strengths of schedule that somebody calculated on Reddit, where it was basically just like working out. Like they posted the fixtures for the year and the homestand cities for the year, and somebody worked out like how many hours each team would need to be traveling per week on average to make these fixtures, and it was fucking crazy. Like people were spending like 3 days out of 7 in airports, like every single time to get between these matches. Like it was pure nonsense. And some teams got like a really bad end of the deal, and some teams had it okay because
Yeah.
they were like in a hub city. They were kind of central to everything. But if they were based in the middle of fucking nowhere, like geographically, they were just cooked. Like there was no hope of doing anything but being on a plane all year.
Well, this stuff, I remember like season 5 and 6, I did like part remote, part in LA. So I would fly back and forth maybe like 3 or 4 times a year, and maybe like a little bit more when you factor in like the lands we qualified for and stuff. And I was like, by the end of those 2 years, I was so fed up for flying. And that's, there's a couple of months in between all of those flights, But I was so fed up with long hauls after that. Like I couldn't imagine doing it on a weekly basis. On top of having all the stress of trying to prepare for a game, trying to do everything, it would have just been.
Oh, they made it even worse. I remember in season 3, they decided to do the hero pools thing, weekly hero pools, where they just ban a hero. Every single week it'd be different, and like see that just adds on to like not being able to practice the game because you're like those hero pools like every single time were so impactful. Like they actually like they were way more impactful for how the game plays compared to like now. Like the hero bans of OWCS, like the hero pools are like such like a game changer. So yeah, like that added on to like the stress factor and the travel factor.
Did you do a homestand? Did you play in any of them?
I played in DC and the Outlaws one.
Yeah, I think I did 4 before COVID. I remember when we did the Philly homestand at home. I remember being there, I was like, shit, this is actually going to work. Like, I remember that exact moment because it was packed. Everyone was like going fucking crazy, like supporting Philly. And I was like, shit, like this is actually a good idea. And I remember 2 weeks later, I'm at the second DC homestand. So it'd been 4 weeks and I'd already been to DC twice.
Yeah, I was there too. No, I was at this. Like, it was empty, right?
Yeah, and you were talking to people behind the scenes and they were saying, our first homestand did pretty well. Like most tickets went, but we're doing another homestand 3 weeks later. Like, because Washington bought 5, right? They did 5 homestands across the year. And the second one, they were saying, we were literally giving them away. Like you could get the tickets for free just to come and it was still empty. And it was 2 weeks later, I was like, okay, it's fucking cursed, I went from we're still back to it's fucking over within like 2 weeks because it's like you want to go, maybe you'll go once to see one. No one's going 5 times to the
regular season games,
Yeah.
Just regular season, like just like in low stakes games. It was on the boardwalk. Remember, like I remember the DC one. It was like on like the river or like wherever it was, and it was like it was pretty cool. But I remember you guys losing a map 5 there. I was up top and I was like looking around, like there's nobody here. I think you guys played Paris or something. I remember this very vividly.
That was
Paris and lost to Paris.
Hero pool week. That was fucking AIDS because we were unbeaten and then everything got banned and we just had no clue what was going on. But yeah,
and that's when I got my G640 right after when you guys left your fucking dugout. But yeah, I do remember that really well. Like thinking, like, wow, why is there nobody here? Because the Outlaws one was packed, but then this is like the second one.
Washington week 1 was packed. It's just and Philly was packed and Houston was packed, but Washington week 2 was already dead. But that was them. Like it was just another stupid. Because did you ever I don't know if you ever spoke to people like your org people, but the costs of doing a homestand was insane too. So if you went for 5, if you sell all your tickets, presumably it's a profitable experience, But I think even the Philly one, I'm sure we sold out and people told me that it wasn't like we didn't make money on it, And it's like, well, if you sell out and you still don't make money, that's probably not good, Like I'm not a business degree. Yeah.
And then the Philly, what was it? The Philly Arena. They had the Philly Arena cooking up. Yeah.
You're just too much people with too much money with no intention. Just
pure belief.
We profited at least, Like we had it the best out of everyone because
we had fun. We had a lot of fun,
I always think, which one was it, season 5 or season 6, where they did the like end of year finals at Anaheim, and there was
5.
There was one where we basically had they had a group stage or something that was all just in studio, basically, no arena.
Cubicle things, the cubes.
Yeah. But I remember that because it was like all the teams just in different rooms, all in the same building. And that was sick. And that was like, you could just bump into everyone, see everyone at the same time. And then it was like, that's what season 1 and 2 would have been like.
Yeah, the Blizzard Arena was good for that.
Just the whole year when everyone was all the teams in the same place. There's like something really nice about that. I
Yeah,
guess
season 5 one was good.
that used to sell out as well, no, did it not?
Like to be honest with you,
Like
season
1
2
and
it
season
was
2.
fucked.
Really?
Season 1 probably, but season 2, like, because they used to do games on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? And it was always, if you had a Thursday, Friday game, it was genuinely completely empty. And then you just have like the 5 super fans that would come to every game and sit in the front row and scream when the rest of the audience was dead. But it was even by season 2, it was like, to us, the writing was on the wall there, you know? But again, it was like, they were doing 4 events a week for like 20 weeks. Like, of course, people aren't going to keep paying to go back, you know? But, you know.
Season 5 model, like a downscaled model, like just having homestands be like actual meaningful tournaments. Like, you know, that's like a feasible thing to do. Obviously, you're probably not making all your money back. You probably need to do some like skin revenue to make some of that money back. But other than that, like, I think season 5 probably had the best like model.
Yeah, you wonder too, like if they'd gone for like a sustainable model from the get go, like I don't know, like because
COD League still a thing. Somehow COD League is still a thing. Like they didn't throw COD League out the window. So and COD League, yeah, like I think the salaries have gone down on COD League, and like there's a lot of teams like renaming and restructuring. But COD League is still going, so they kept that franchise.
So the salaries are really high there too, right? Like they were always higher.
I think they went
League.
a lot of them went down, but yeah, they were definitely
really?
higher. The players made so much on that game.
I don't know, because what was the argument essentially? If there was like an OWCS style model from the get go, would it have been better or worse?
I think they should. No, yeah, I don't know. I think they should have done this. I think the city idea was actually good. Like, I actually think that was like a lot of people didn't like it, but I kind of fucked with it. It's just, I mean, to be honest, I think as much. Well, I don't know who takes the blame, but it was the team spending which was the problem. Like, do you know how profitable Overwatch had to be to recoup that mansion and those salaries and those company card dinners? Like, you had to be like a real sport, you know?
What was it a problem?
Just, like, Overwatch just also lost a lot of like fans at that time too. Like over time, like less people cared about the esport as the game got older and stuff, and like they stopped updating the game, so that also did not really help much.
Was it actually a problem? Like, I don't know. I see a lot of opinions of people being like, Overwatch League killed Overwatch because it killed third-party investment in the game and made it unsustainable or something like that. But like overall, like would any third-party of investment even come remotely close to the level of interest, support for the players, or anything related to it for the entirety of Overwatch League? Like if Overwatch League hampered Overwatch, it was by making it so that in 2024, which was probably like the opening year of OWCS where investment was like relatively low, that things weren't great. But like I refuse to believe that for the players, there was a single downside to Overwatch League existing. There were more teams paying way more money, and you were getting a way better experience, and it was better for the viewers too. The production budget for that show for the whole 6 years, start to finish, was monumental. You know, like even if it got massively scaled back by season 6, no compare to what we've got going on right now. So I think anyone that like, you know, writes on Reddit and says Overwatch League was actually bad, Overwatch League was actually too restrictive to good talent. Hey, look at this 16-year-old player in OWCS that was like, you know, they were 16 when Overwatch League was in season 6. Look how they weren't picked up by the talent scouts. It's like, you're a fucking moron. People were like, look at Quartz. He wasn't in Overwatch League. Quartz got an Overwatch League offer and declined it. Like, it has nothing to do with the format, you know? Like, everyone got a better run at it in Overwatch League because money is better than anything else.
It's not like it wasn't like progressively more competitive too. Sorry, I didn't mean it. It was just getting progressively more competitive every year. Like people, there wasn't like more bad players like staying in Overwatch League. Like you had to really like try, and like it wasn't just like, oh, we're gatekeeping this talent. Like maybe, I mean, EU was definitely unrepresented, like because you know there wasn't people didn't want to like pay for visas for EU players, but those are like the really like shit teams. Like you don't want to be in those teams anyway. Like you don't want to like go play on. I mean, you probably do. It's good money. Like even if you're playing on like Vegas or like Valiant, but like those, I feel like the good talent was always like picked up and like
Kev wasn't gate kept, for example. You know, like
Kev got offered year on year.
Yeah,
eventually he got
That's how he wanted to be in. I remember in season 3, like people we were like thinking about offering Qadsiah, or like LA wanted to offer Qadsiah, and he declined. He wanted to stay like in contenders and play on Envy. Like he wasn't gate kept, and I feel like over time the league just got more competitive, and you're constantly just like scrimming teams. Like waking up, you see the schedule, you check your Google Calendar, you're scrimming Dallas Fuel into a shock block, into an Atlas block, and hopefully by the last block you're not all tilted because you got shit on with the previous 3 blocks. And it's just like you don't. It doesn't really happen anymore. You kind of just play the same 2 teams over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like the only thing that really frustrates me when people are like looking back on, the Overwatch League retrospectives is you just see like, those people on Compo W that have the top 1% commenter flair because they've been around forever and they've been spewing their incorrect opinion forever. And they really do genuinely believe in their heart of hearts that somehow everybody getting paid and being able to treat it like a job for 6 years was better than the alternative. And it's like, what fucking planet do you live on?
Yeah,
like how can you possibly think that anything like any version that didn't involve everybody getting paid and everybody putting in crazy effort would have been better? Like
it's like, yeah, like right now, like we're OWCS was marketed at the beginning to be grassroots, but like what other tournaments besides EWC that wasn't part of Blizzard have there actually been that spread out? It's none. It's still always like
J3 put some money into the game like a year ago for a 2-day tournament. Like that's pretty grassroots.
I'm talking about like big like tournaments that are not like it's not like CS:GO where there's like a bunch of like tournaments that are not like official, like where you have to actually decide whether or not you want to play in it. It's more like it's still Blizzard like sanctioned, like all the OWCS. It's not really grassroots. It's just like downscaled Overwatch League,
The money's just not there anymore. Like nobody's throwing money into esports for nothing anymore. Like it was a boom and bust. Now we're heading into the recession. People are talking about the AI bubble, dude. Like nobody wants to take a risk.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. Like we're like all like thinking about the past, but like I still think there's way more improvements they could do that wouldn't be like millions and millions of dollars of costs down the drain. Like even just like viewership, like viewer like experience. Like I personally enjoyed the color coding of the teams and making it like look more professional that way. Like when you're watching the streams and like even like the face cams while people are playing, it just makes it look more like professional. But I guess that's just not like the books anymore. Like at least for the partner teams, I think partner teams should have all like color coded like stuff and make their players use like face cams while they're playing.
Yeah, I think like webcams. You go.
I was going to say, even in like, if you look at CS, because obviously CS has obviously the benefit of all these big major tournaments, but even when they do like online qualifiers or something, you still get webcams for every single game. Like you get to see the players in all these moments. So it's like, it is an expense, but like in the grand scheme of expense, it's got to be in the more affordable range for sure. You probably do have to limit it to partner teams just for, availability and chopping and changing, but it's still like a step in the right direction.
I think it's something that like really costs. Well, it might cost more than you'd think is the problem, because like it actually requires like so much to like manage all of the feeds and whatnot, right? Like if you wanted a webcam like on the screen while they're playing, like you change observer POV, like the layers of complexity required to accomplish that are like way higher, right? Like we saw like a production changeover in stage 3 for NA, EMEA, OWCS, and it feels like throwing like any more in the mix would be like a really big ask at the moment, like in terms of like how they're constantly chopping and changing with like who's producing the show and stuff like that. So I think for sure like webcams, maybe there's not like a high barrier to entry cost from like organizations or players to throw them on, but I think like the production complexity is probably like quite difficult unless there's something like computer vision that can read the player POV name and then match it. Like I don't actually know how this stuff works nowadays on the production side. Yeah, like if Grok can read Hawk in the bottom left and then put Lep's player cam on, like that would be perfect for me. But like overall, I do think that like you need someone manning that, like that's more manpower, that's more production costs that otherwise probably wouldn't exist unless it's something that can be automated by Grok, and then you only have to pay for a couple of Elon tokens per match. But yeah, any expense is, it's still an expense in a product where, like trying to save money, not spend it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not trying to simplify it, but it's just like some like things like that, like making the experience better for the viewers. Because I know it's like even when I'm watching, I get confused like who's on whose side of the map and like the team colors, and it's just like really weird sometimes.
Yeah.
So I just wish they even just do basic colors. I'm not asking for team jerseys. I'm just talking like like having a feature in game where you can just set the outlines of people's like team colors. Like, that'd be nice to have, even if you're not doing esports.
I mean, they're putting banners in the maps now, aren't they? I feel like I saw that on Reddit a while ago. I haven't.
Yeah.
Are they in right now? But they're
I
like
think
putting.
Lijiang had one already.
Yeah, like they're advertising the World Finals in game with like banners or something, or maybe they're just going to be on the screen during the games. I don't even know. I saw a Reddit post and then didn't look into it any further because I'm lazy. But yeah,
Well, Stockholm has
yeah,
a
it's
Mercy
pretty-
skin,
it's
so
pretty
that's all we really needed, right? Like
Mercy and Juno, mate. Fucking
that's it. Who gives a fuck anymore? Like
revenue
it's
share Andes are
solved.
so happy with
Imagine this
that.
year's just weren't awful as well. Imagine this
It
year's
doesn't
like weren't
matter.
just like.
It's not about
Yeah.
the quality, it's about the popularity.
Let's get
I mean, it definitely would
Kiri,
help. Though,
Mercy, yeah. Ryan. We need a Ryan skin so bad.
Jeez.
Brian.
Yeah, Ryan. I think they should do one per role, just like so people can buy the bundle and like anyone feels satisfied. You know what I mean? Like they should probably do one per role, but like, what's the DPS skin that gets clicked? You know, like
Gen.G?
what's the
Gen.G?
most Reddit DPS? Yeah,
Definitely not
Gen.G.
Venture. Definitely not Venture.
I swear, like when they did like the initial partner bundle selection for the skins, they must have chosen like what are the skins that everyone is complaining about that we don't make skins for, and then they do it because everyone was like, "Where are the
Check
venture
two
skins?"
boxes,
So
yeah.
they put out 8 venture skins or whatever it is, and everyone's like, "Why did they choose venture? Nobody plays venture," and it's like you can't fucking win with people. You know, all they do is beg for a venture skin. They get 8 of them. Admittedly, they're part.
They
of
want
team
legendary
recolors.
skins. They
Yeah,
want
I know.
legendary skins. They don't want recolors.
But you still can't win with like the average person requesting this or that from the devs on Reddit. Like everyone wants more balance to whatever they do. Like apparently 20% of the active player base plays fucking 6v6 every day. I've never met a single person in my life that logs onto the game to play 6v6 or to play Stadium on a daily basis, but apparently that's more than 20% of the player base because we all live in
Stadium is
our own
probably
little
like
bubbles.
40%. Stadium is probably way. I mean, Stadium is definitely higher than 6v6. But yeah, like that's crazy. That looks like
90%
showing
of
people.
patch notes of Stadium.
Yeah.
I love
I mean, it
scrolling
has to
past the
be.
stadium patch notes to get to the real patch notes.
There's a whole dev team for that, right? So
And it's
Yeah.
50 times bigger than the normal game.
Yeah, like they have like dev comments too, like why they're like buffing and nerfing stuff in like an arcade mode, but then they don't have. Sometimes a lot of the time they don't even have that for the main mode. Like why they're like doing these nerfs, you just left there guessing like. How do they come to the conclusion that ball needs to get buffed or something like that? And they don't add anything to it, but they'll add why they're buffing Gino's power in Stadium.
Well, maybe that's the future, and then we can all get back into our multi-million-pound mansions.
Stadium? Yeah, it's the future.
Overwatch League Stadium Edition. I'm here for it, actually.
Yeah, I don't think there's a single person you could ask who played in Overwatch League, probably at any level of budget to super rich team, now wouldn't go back to it in a flash if offered the opportunity compared to now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's just pure delusion to think. Just if you're a player, no way.
I mean,
I'm kinda glad-
if you're one of those top 1% Redditors, like you want it so bad for some reason. But if you're a player, if you're a staff member, grow up.
I think for me, at my
No
age,
way.
it actually came at a really good because I wouldn't want to live
'Cause
in
you
a
like
team
having
house in
time?
America. That's what I wouldn't do because then I'd be away from my wife and stuff. Life is way better in OWCS, even though I'm getting a fraction of the money because I'm 30 years old. Like I think about the game. Like the thing is, this is what you need to realize about coaching in esports. Okay, you get older, but your players are always 18. They always fucking stay the same age, no matter what happens.
Matthew McConaughey said something about that in Dazed
Yeah.
and Confused, I think. Like,
I haven't seen the movie / TV show, but it's
maybe
always the
like
fucking,
1 of 4 here. Maybe Alpha has.
hopefully the comment section is full of W under for that reference. But
No, they're children. They're children. They won't have seen it either. There's like nobody, actually. It's a disaster.
and
No,
I
even
think
Alpha's
about
not
how living in the team house, like especially like the London one towards the end, how fucking taxing it is dealing with those children. You add a few years onto me, maybe get some younger players like, can't be asked. I mean, Hawk will tell you, I'm pretty good with the kids, like this generation. Like I got a lot of the lingo down, so I can interact with them, but it's fucking tough to keep up, with all the words.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like the coach when you have to. That's not really like I can see at your age you want to do a team house anymore. I don't even want to do team house like either. Like but still prefer
Yeah,
like the paycheck. The paycheck
Yeah.
is worth the team house, I think.
possibly.
you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested to hear your wife's perspective on this too. You're saying like I'm happy to like do this for a fraction of the money and like go play tennis all day and shit like that. God, I wish Chris would go and fucking work in the salt mines and stop swinging that fucking racket around all day. Like if he could just work for more money for us, that would be great. But I'd be interested to hear Yanni's perspective on all
Should
this
I
at the
ask
end of the day. Yeah, actually, go and ask her. Like, would you rather I lived in a team house for a while and
All right,
earned
I'll
way
go
more
ask
money,
her.
or go check. Go check.
Yeah, 150K or
He was never on 150K in Overwatch League.
he's Coach of the Year. He's going to if it went one more year, he's taking your job when Gladiators is over. Actually, Gladiators is going downhill. Never mind. He's going somewhere.
I think he backed himself. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think Chrissy's contract was something like no prize money, but performance-based bonuses. He just backed himself to hit whatever the thresholds were. Did it though?
Yeah, he hit it, but was he on like a long contract, like a multi-year, like a 2-year?
I can't remember.
And that makes sense.
On
Season
I'm not
5,
sure on
season 6.
London.
Maybe he was a free agent after season 6. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because I think my contract came to an end at the end of season 6 as well, just naturally.
Yeah, most people were on
I'm
like
not
1+1s back. That was like the meta.
They gave me a
You're
3-year
signed for 1 year.
contract. I don't know why.
They gave you 3-year.
They gave me a 3-year contract, yeah. Maybe it's part of the reason I was able to survive season 4, but they gave me a 3-year contract for some reason.
Maybe that's the Cloud9 thing.
I wasn't complaining.
Here it is.
She said, if it was for only 1 year, well, like one last year, she'd rather I go away and earn double. But if it's more than 1 year, she'd rather I stayed here. That's what she decided. So we do one more year of Overwatch League. I've got permission. But if it's more than 1 year, I'm not allowed.
So Chris has permission. Who do we need to talk to next to get one more year of Overwatch League then?
It might be it. It might be just.
All right. Ship it. Do you think as well then, Hawk, since you've played in both, we talk obviously like the quality of life and the quality of, I guess, employment safety has gone down. Do you think there's been a big drop off in the quality of play? You talked about in Overwatch League, it felt like year on year almost teams, it was getting more competitive, teams were getting better. How does OWCS compare to that?
I mean, quality of the regions really just depends. I think NA is like pretty low quality, but like EU seems like higher quality, but it's just like better because everyone's always scrimming each other. So it's hard to tell, like, because like Proper, Stalker, Lip, Hanbin, all those players were still good. They're still like dominant players in Overwatch League, but you're just able to play them more often. So I guess now it's just like very local. So I'm just scripting the same teams over and over again. So it's hard to tell. But I think talent-wise, as a whole, it's probably still the same. Maybe a little less because it didn't seem like there's like as many players coming up and playing and being really good, especially in like NA. Even Korea, like Korea doesn't even have like a tier 2 scene. So like, how do you even find the next proper? Like, how do you even like motivate someone to become the next proper when they don't even have a tier 2 like scene to watch or even play in? I don't think. And same thing with NA. Like, if you're below 17, you can't even play, or even you can't even play. So like, how do you even develop those skills? Because if I wasn't able to play when I was like 15, 16, like, what would I have been doing? Like, I would have zero aspirations to be a pro player. So I think the quality of play definitely has gone down because like the path to pro isn't like really great. And then even the teams we're like playing against, like, I don't feel like it's hard to imagine any of the teams in the NA are like above top 10 ALP teams.
Nowhere near, I think.
Yeah,
nowhere
like
near.
no way. Like there's no way Liquid's above a top 10 ALP team. There's no way we are. There's no way Geekay is. Like, I don't believe it in any way. Like, so yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to get like too caught in the permanent, like we're already like an hour deep into Overwatch League nostalgia or whatever. But you know, like you're saying like when you were like 15 years old, like, you know, what would I be doing if I couldn't play? It's like so many of like the up and coming talent that like developed in your era and even the era after that, like even, you know, like in like those American Tornado kind of eras, like these guys, like they're all on partner team academy rosters that are paying like more than what you get paid to play in OWCS right now, you know, like we haven't even talked about the academy system and the fact that like tier 2 in Overwatch back in those days was huge. You know, like I played in tier 2 Overwatch in Australia, and the money that we made in prizing playing in tier 2 Overwatch, like winning in Australia, was roughly equivalent to like what you would pretty much get for winning North America right now as a tier 1 OWCS pro. You know,
Yeah.
like put that in perspective. Like me on Lucio was getting paid as much as prize money as Admiral is to win every stage in NA. You know, like that's. The standards have shifted so drastically. Like the North American prize pool for tier 2 was like the same as OWCS, right? Or maybe larger.
Yeah, it was definitely no, it was 100% larger because
And there were salaries too, like good
Yeah, I mean,
salaries
I made-
for kids.
I think I probably made it like very close or maybe a little less or a little more than all minimum like when I was 17, and we weren't even the best team in NA. Like we only won one of the 3 stages because Fusion Uni was so dominant. I think Envy might have beat us to second on one of them, but like if we had been as dominant and on the same contracts, like we were on pretty low salary, we got all the prize money, but the prize money was so significant back then. Like you made so much money just off winning NA contenders or like winning your side of NA contenders, like the West or whatever East. I don't know why they did that, but it you know helped help more money be farmed. But yeah, I could have easily made like well over like all minimum just off contenders alone, tier 2 alone, which is like, you know, it's a lot of money for someone like that's 17, like I was at myself, or like Lenny, who was like 14 at the time. Like it was very substantial. Like, and it's not like the competition was like not good. Like we were playing against a lot of like maybe they're not around nowadays, but like we were playing against like Envy and like they're pretty good at the time, and you know we were scrimming all teams, and Fusion Uni was there with like Bernard, like Alarm and some other like good players that like lasted a long time. So I don't know, like it definitely was a lot of money back then, even just for tier 2 that we were competing in to then become like even like higher paid when we got to L. So like there was like a journey, like a tax bracket journey that you're climbing as you're trying to make it to tier 1, which is like really exciting.
Yeah, I think actually is Korea not the most starved of tier 2 of like up and coming talent of all the regions? Maybe China is, but like I swear NA and EU actually has more up and comers to the scene than Korea has. Like Korea, like even though Korea is maybe the most competitive, or maybe Korea's like maintained its like level, like they gatekeep all new talent there. Like in terms of the existing players are too good, you know?
Yeah. That's how I say, like, yeah, like, so you can go, sorry.
It's just hard to compare, like, because in Korea, there's like 2 teams, 3 teams, 4 teams at the top that are like really, really hard to break into whatsoever. But I think like what's more important is that you look at the state of like the tier 2 grassroots scene in like each given region and like what that actually looks like. And I mean, for NA EMEA, you get like Face It, like you don't have an equivalent in Korea at all. And then in NA as well, like if you're not a tier 1 player in OWCS, you also have like these collegiate pathways and stuff where, you know, maybe you have like a bit of a justification to keep playing and to keep improving. Whereas that scene in Korea, like it used to be the most expansive of the lot, right? There used to be all of these feeder teams, you know, Gen A, Gen B, Gen.G, all feeding into their Overwatch League roster. You used to have O2 Blast, Element Mystic. These teams all had academies. They were all trying to sell to Overwatch League rosters, and all of that is completely gone. I think O2 Boss came back from a long period of disappearance, and he's tried to put the band back together with O2 Blast, and then immediately had to publicly fire one of his players 2 days after publicly forming the roster. But overall, like that tier 2 scene just doesn't exist. The competition isn't there anymore. So like, how do you feed up to tier 1 outside of just being a no-lifer degenerate? Because like nobody's dropping out of school for this anymore.
Yeah, it's very difficult because like the top Korean pro players, like the Crazy Raccoons, Falcons, like those guys were all top of their class, like best in slot 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Still, so they're still undisputed the best teams right now. Like, you know, there's some like upcoming players like Quartz, or you know, like some of like the Saudi teams or the EU teams that are like pretty good, but it's just like feels like it's stagnated. And eventually, as you start to see these players like lose motivation or have to do military, you'll probably keep going downhill because, you know, I don't think not only is the game like not as like depthful, but also just like there isn't a reason for players to climb up and like keep grinding for nothing.
All right, let's talk about modern day Overwatch. What do you think?
Over 2 years.
Talk about that's enough. Reflecting on
Yeah, we've had enough
The glory
happiness.
days.
Let's get to the sad times. The modern day.
the modern day is chill though. It's like low stakes and like
It is.
just
Low
chill.
stakes.
Yeah, like you show up to a tournament and there's no expectations for you to like even try to win.
Win or lose that map 7, like the difference to your bank account, it didn't hurt that bad. You know? Like,
Yeah,
it'll
the
buff
10K
out.
difference divided by like
Yeah, it
5
is.
players plus like the
5 players, a coach, an org, like you're chilling. Dude.
it's like
They
it's
send
like,
it
yeah,
to
it's-
PGE.
It's heartbreaking, but I mean, they can go have fun playing Falcons and then getting shown by T1 as well, and like potentially being out before us. So they can have fun at that. They can have fun spending all their money in the boot camp and just to lose to
Whoa.
Falcons and T1.
Hey mate, you're spending a pretty penny to go to Sunderland eventually too, so you know.
Come on, Sunderland. If
I
it
think I
happens.
love Sunderland, bro.
They apparently look at it as like an office there somewhere like in the EU, and they have like a private chef, like 3 meals a day. They're getting prepped to beat the Falcons.
I
That's all
heard
I'm saying.
Rafa was the one cooking. Actually, they needed to repurpose him to get him to do that as well because the mental coaching wasn't enough. But yeah, close enough.
He's just too versatile. He has to cook as well.
I mean, he's the Hyperflex staff member, the Swiss Army knife of coaches. Like he seriously does it all.
That's awesome.
Should we start with North America then, since we're all, well,
American.
all American, yeah. So, should we start at the start? Because obviously we didn't actually catch the first week of playoffs as well. The big story is Nightmare out to Sakura here. So, huge.
That's an awesome
huge-
match. I love that match.
Huge disaster for Nightmare. Was there any, you guys probably scrimming some of these teams? Did it feel like Nightmare were going to blow it coming into this, or there was any chance? Or
You
I
said
thought
it,
there was a
Hulk. You
chance.
predicted
I
it,
said,
right?
I'm like, yeah, no one believed me at first, and then they
Yeah.
started believing me. I'm like, is there a chance to? 'Cause I don't remember. I think we were scoring Nightmare, and they were just like absolute, like really bad, like leading up to the playoffs, like just like falling over, like just obviously tilted, and like we scrimmed Sakura, and like they're really not insane, but they were bad. I'm like, oh, there's probably a good chance these teams play each other, and then I'm starting to watch this match. I'm seeing them play comps for no, like literally. If you go back to the beginning of this round, like they word for word like copied our rollout on this map. Yeah, this Diva, Juno, Kiri. I made this rollout. At least I think I did. Maybe I copied from someone else. Maybe I'm just copying. I definitely didn't copy from other team in NA, but maybe I saw somewhere else. But they're doing. Look at the exact rollout. This is the exact rollout we did, Chris. Neither Juno.
Map 1, it's the same. Their comp and ban is identical to what we did.
But like, we
Because
played that
the
because
whole
we're playing as
season, it was-
Ram.
I mean, yeah, the whole season when we scrimmed Nightmare, it was the same shit. Like they just with players, you would go Diva, he would go Diva, you would go Zarya, he would go Zarya, and they would just do everything possible to get a mirror. Even if it's just one hero difference, they would always just end up on the exact same play style. But you can never win doing that because you need to understand why we're playing a hero like against what, you know.
They have no
like,
free thinkers on their team. Like I have no idea why.
And they've got 4
They're playing
coaches or
Arisen
something
here.
too. They've got they've got a mountain of coaches, and all they did was just copy our homework. Fucking insane, you know?
And a lot of the time when we're scrimming, we're not even playing our real comps as well. Like we're just like testing stuff out because like we got some match day players on our team. They're just gonna lock in and play the heroes on the day that need to play.
It's crazy. You're describing yourself. Like,
I mean, Lenny's a match day player as well. I mean, yeah, people are like.
This is the moment, though, because not only were they copying your homework, at a certain point they started copying Sakura's homework and just took the Orisa mirror here on King's Row.
I mean, like,
which
I don't know how
really
they
felt
found this
like
to be. I mean, like this. I mean, I'm sorry, but the way Nightmare lost, they're just awful. Like that is just an awful way to lose, and like just awful way to think about the game. Like just really, really bad. Like they should have easily been able to beat this. It'd make this game close. Maybe they wouldn't beat them, but like this game should have been way closer. They should have only won a Winston map on Gibraltar. Like, just disaster.
I mean, the whole draft was absolutely awful.
I need to know why they didn't go Ilios. Like, you're versus Zeb, you have Rhino, you just had a dogfight with Team Liquid on Ilios. Like, you actually went just tooth and nail with Liquid on Ilios, and for some fucking absolutely insane reason, you decide that you don't want to take advantage of the fact that Zeb cannot win an Ilios or a Gibraltar to save his life. Like, why would you draft Tamira? I can't.
They needed to
understand
ban
that.
Kirka because we banned Kirka, and they needed to play Lucy Wing
Yeah.
because we played Lucy Wing. But we only played that to beat Ramatra. We don't play that to play a mirror, especially a Zarya mirror. That it's just awful. Like, just completely like not understanding like the homework you're copying. Like, they're actually ChatGPT. Like, they're not actually understanding. They're just copying.
Might even
It's
be
actually
Grok, dude,
plagiarism.
like-
Not Grok. If it was Grok, it would have been insane. They would have won if it was Grok, okay? ChatGPT
the, the truth would have been sought there. Like, it all would have
Team Liquid are lucky they weren't Grok, okay?
Yeah, I don't know. This series is just. I feel like watching like an alternate, like worse version of us, like play stuff for no reason.
Yeah.
Just get
And
shit on.
even the rest of it, like the Gibraltar to ban Lucio is so bad because you're winning Gibraltar for free anyway. It's fine. Like this,
Yeah.
and then you use your best ban, and then like the thing is, like it's somewhere they had this theory that they could play Ram against like what Sakura play, right? Because I think this map on screen right now, like Sakura, hey, put it back on screen. Sakura banned Ram because they obviously didn't want to play Zarya versus Ram. And then on map 4, they'd given up confidence, but they hadn't even tested Ram versus Zarya. You know, they just assumed it couldn't work because they were losing, and then played double flex without Lucio. And just GG. You know, like every single map was so bad from Nightmare. And I think there's kind of an element. If you're like an off-tank team versus an off-tank team, the second you can't win like the off-tank mirror, it's really fucking tricky. You know.
You're so screwed. You're actually so screwed.
And you can see it this exact round 1, you realize Zeb's movement was just going to be too much. You know, this guy that he's next up.
Well, they should have won this round. Like, they even should have won this round. Like, they gave up on the Zarya mirror after like barely losing. Just so like they just like lost all confidence, and like I don't know. Like, it's just really, really bad.
I feel too, not just shitting on Nightmare. I think actually Sakura could be pretty pleased with a lot. I think that their DPS duo is actually like, I don't know,
really good.
Yeah, like closest. Well, I guess it is next up, right? Beyond like the existing talent. Like Zeb is actually like pretty good at the heroes he can play. You know, like
he looks so slow, but I guess it works. Like he actually looks like he's on controller.
He's Harmon, dude.
No, Harmon's like more calculated. Like, this guy looks very, very slow when he's just like moving his mouse on Zarya, and you could tell it too, because like a lot of time you can just like farm a little bit faster, but then someone's like slower nowadays. But yeah, like their team play was definitely even when we played them like not awful. So like pretty good, not awful. So like it wasn't surprising to me like when this match started that they started beating Nightmare, because like Nightmare just doesn't think for themselves, apparently. I don't know.
At least they had a nice boot camp though.
Yeah, that's the first thing, is they booked a 2-week boot camp and got eliminated before the end of week 1. So what you do for the second week, you know?
Back in the pool, boys.
Yeah.
Then obviously you guys played Sakura next. Not so many problems for you. Maybe outside of the Bastion mirror. No good.
That comp was good. My team flamed me for playing it, but that comp was good. Like,
yeah, I mean,
right here.
worked,
Are we holding here? Are we? No, we're not holding.
You rolled them
back
in the
to fight
first
before.
round, and then they swapped.
Yeah, we rolled them. They didn't shoot
yeah.
back first, and then they mirror us. And like, somehow my Bastion kept ending up in front of like their entire team.
I mean,
like, I don't
the
know what he
problem
was
with
doing
this
sometimes.
The problem with this comp is just that they're better at it than you. Not that there's anything wrong with the comp. Like you
They're
played
not
this
better
and,
at
like,
it though. Like
they're not.
just
Tell
not.
that to fucking Chronic, dude. He was getting absolutely smacked around by X.
He was going
Like,
too
you said
fast. He was.
Yeah,
We never. I mean, this is a comp we never
because
practiced. that.
X10's
We never.
better at it. Like,
No,
there's a
it's-
difference in
it's just-
understanding. Like,
No,
Maybe a little
it's
bit.
like one round of cough where we use 5 ults, you know, like you're nowhere near a sample size to say they're better. The problem is, this is the problem with the theory that like Hawk, original theory to play this comp was right. Like this comp does counter the comp that they were going to play hard. The problem is the second, this is why I banned Lenny off Sim, is it's not because Lenny's a shit sim or we lost confidence on it. It's once you realize the SSG's win condition is if I don't have Hawk and Lenny on carry heroes the entire time, we're not going to win. So that's it. And every time that, like Lenny isn't going to gap anyone on sim, you know, like in a sim mirror, and then all of a sudden we lose like 50% of our like ability to win neutrals and stuff. It's the same reason we never played Ram. The whole we avoided Ram like the plague. It's not just because Hawk shitted Ram, you know, like that's only like a small part of it. It's because half of it. Hawk is never going to win like you can't win the lobby on Ram, you know. So we need to like, and to be honest, like the last 4 weeks of our it was all about beating Ram, you know, like that was pretty much all we tried to do. And I know there was at least one player on our team that was saying we just need to put it in the bag, and maybe at some point we need to put it in the bag. But it was like we really tried to resist it as much as possible, because whenever the two, like, you know, the SSG scoreboard, when they would always do where they would show that, and it would be like everyone in the game would be on the same, and then Lenny and Hawk would be on like 15 limbs more than the rest of the lobby. That was in scrims that happened like 3 times a block, and you only play 5 maps a block, you know. And it was just, whatever we did and whatever we continue to do, we need to have them on heroes they can carry on, or this type of thing happens, you know?
Like, you're watching this round right here, like, I mean, we should have won this round right here. But I remember saying, don't get grabbed. Don't get 5-man grab. We got like 4-man grab at the pillar. Like, we're about to win this. We're about to have 5 ults here. Like, I'm about to lap this guy and grab. He hasn't grabbed yet. And I'm about to have mine like 10%, like, as this fight starts. Like, we could have easily just won right here. And then, I mean, I trolled the last fight of Lijiang by not grabbing Zed when he like ran away because the movement's too clean.
Oh,
but Lep also just trolled.
Yes, true.
But Lep also just trolled by running out in the open.
Yeah,
trying to kill him.
Yeah, they're better. We had to do so many disasters.
That was a legend moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think that the problem is, like, you've already articulated it, right? Like, your win con is literally Hawk and Lenny both killing everyone every fight, you know? Like, that's literally, like, you can see it in the scoreboards of all of the close maps that you have in the dogfight.
Yeah, but
matches.
I do.
And,
Go
like,
this round, I kill everybody.
No, I'm not saying there's one of two. He can't do that on sim.
Lenny
he doesn't have the sim gene.
It was me, Lenny. It was me, Lenny live. Go to first fight this next round. Me and Lenny.
He's just less clutch. He's less clutch on sim than he is on Tracer.
Like, I don't doubt it. You know? I mean, yeah, of course. But
yeah, and that's like the fundamental problem there. You know, it's like your team can do a lot right, but you know, in the final fight, there's 3 people in that grab. Like Lenny, Chronic, CJ, they're all in that final grab. You know, like that doesn't. If Lenny's on Tracer, he's not in the grab, and then you and Lenny clutch, and that's it. Like that's all it takes, right?
I mean, this comp becomes like only about ult economy, you know? Like there's so little neutral here, and every round we would just fuck the ult economy, because to be honest, like this is a really horrible game to play, you know? It's like a game where it's like the most stakes on the line against a team which everybody knows you should beat, but it's like, what if you lose it? That would be kind of embarrassing, you know? Like Nightmare for sure had the same thing, where it's like they know the match is closer, but they know if they lose, it's really embarrassing. And then this couldn't have started much worse, realistically, could it? Like losing map 1.
I mean, I knew it could win.
Right, mate. You clutched it out. But... Clutched it out versus the Nightmare Slayers. Like, power to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would have been irredeemable if you lost this one. But it was, I want to say, it was fine after this map, I think. Like, it was like competitive.
It was still very close. A couple of maps were close.
It was like competitive, but it also kind of felt like you were never going to lose, if that makes sense.
Like King's Row, we could easily have lost.
Yeah.
I guess Rialto was kind of close too. But the last map was not close. Esperanza was not close. Actually,
there was an incident on King's Row, right? There was an incident on King's Row.
King's Row was close until it wasn't. Yeah.
We instantly got picked on first by Esperanza, and like we like stopped the cart right before checkpoint. After that, they don't think they got the cart again. But we could have easily gotten snowballed really badly in Esperanza, which would not have been good.
So you guys get through, get the Stockholm spot. Meanwhile, Geekay probably have the most disappointing. Nightmare had the most disappointing stage 3, but Geekay probably up there as well in terms of disappointment. Obviously, 2 stage championships for them. Coming to this one looking for the 3P, lose to Liquid, lose to SSG. They also lost the regular season games as well. I think it was something like their map record against, you know, Team Liquid and yourselves was like 10-14 total for this stage. So they only beat you guys, I think, once in the upper bracket. So what went wrong for Geekay here? What was the problem this stage compared to previous ones?
Probably just meta. I don't think it could be anything else. Okay.
No, I don't think it's meta personally. I think my theory is they're like too high on their own supply, you know? Like I think they thought like the thing is, if you look at the, like it's like you said, like they were so close to winning. Almost every series between like the top three always went to the side of map, right? Like it was like it was so close between
Only
the top
one
three.
of them didn't, but yeah, 4 out of 5 did. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I think like we said this from the start when we scrimmed against like Cuffet on ball. Like we said from the start, like it's not going to work. You know, like you could feel that he wasn't as good as the hero as infected him. It wasn't going to be enough like for them to win. And you keep hearing like this thing that always happens with Nightmare. It's like, oh yeah, well Gultec can just coach it. Gultec can just coach it, you know. And then like I think they waste their entire regular season going their own way with like Lucio Wu when like everybody like think about how close it was. Like they beat us the week after we were just abandoning the Lu Wu, and then they were still like good enough to win. You're like that team is capable of winning, but I think every map where they played ball and every map where they played Lu Wu, like in general, I think was just. I don't know. I just don't think it was. I don't think GK are good enough as a team where they can play any comp and Smurf North America. But I think they are good enough if they do if they play their strategy correctly, they're good enough to win it. Does that make sense? And yeah, I think they consistently made roles where everyone playing against them felt, I don't know why they're playing this, but they kept playing it.
I mean, they did this exact thing in stage 2 as well. When you're talking about like getting high off their own supply and just going their own way for too long, like they thought that this Malga Moira comp was like the be all end all. They played it in scrims for a week. Pretty sure they lost like all of their scrims for the entire week versus the top teams. You know, like at worst they were going even with SSG at absolute worst, and winning majority with like, you know, Kellen playing Queen or something like that. And they're like, you know, we're going to win because like we're not banning to counter out your comp. We're banning for the big picture or something in the match. And it's like, and then they just played in the match and they got fucking blown out. And it's like, oh, okay. After a week and a half of slamming this nonstop, then they pivoted and then they won the finals by just playing what they were good at. But like this stage, it felt like it was even more extreme. It's like they had almost an entire stage of playing Lucio Wuyang. And then even when they abandoned it, they're still on this like crazy, like Ultraviolet can get us over the line thing. Like they're playing Lucio Ana versus Hawk on Diva. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, you look at the comps that are on screen right now. This is so fucking brave of them, you know. Like if
UV died every
like
fight, I'm pretty sure.
They wound up with like the ultimate faith in UV. Like I don't know, there's like one too many like, you know, public glazes of UV, or like one too many people talking about how he's the GOAT in North America right now, and they just decided that like his role can't die no matter the matchup. It's like Lucio Wuyang nonstop, like these ultra high risk comps where like if he doesn't get value, they just lose the game instantly. Here, like playing Lucio Ana into a diva feels like absolutely psychotic. You know, like how the fuck is your how is your Ana gonna live versus this? And he just doesn't, right? Like he just gets shit on. Like their whole front fight is just completely cooked here. And I don't know, it feels like this was the story of the Geekay roster ever since last stage. But last time it didn't punish them as badly because they pivoted after they lost in lowers.
Because no one can deny they're not good enough to win because they go to map 5 against everyone.
Oh, they always do it, right? Like they're really good.
You just think, imagine you had a stage of actually prepping properly, then you probably win, you know? But it's like they get 1 week of prep versus Team Liquid with their private chefs and, you know, like 8 weeks of playing the same comps, and, you know, it's relatively close, but yeah, I don't know.
It's a rough gap.
I felt like they were terrified against us, especially. They never wanted to mirror Lucio Kiri. I don't know if UV doesn't like Kiriko or they just don't think they have, but they would always do something where it would always be Bap or Ana or Wuyang, you know, like they really tried to avoid the Lucio Kiri as much as possible. So Gabby?
It's just Gabby, really.
Is the worry here as well that they're just going to run into, if like this problem is more fundamental than any like.
I mean,
like, will they learn their lesson? I guess is the question. You know, like, is this the sort of thing that would just?
Yeah, I mean,
maybe Gultec will coach him out of the hole this time.
But maybe
right?
maybe the damage has already been done. They have a pretty hard bracket in Stockholm.
Everyone was glazing NA 3rd seed, but I swear it's a fucking trash seed compared to NA 2nd. Like
they have a chance to just like immediately get out of this tournament. Like
I don't know why people are looking at it and be like, "Oh, Alcad is winnable." Like I don't think that's fucking winnable, mate. Like I think Jug might have to kill himself, but
yeah, this part of the bracket is like the best part of the bracket if you're the EMEA team.
Yeah. Yes.
Like it's like for Qadsiah, I think they're probably buzzing about this, like how the bracket looks as it is. You know, like they're looking at like upper semi-finals as super doable.
Yeah, they could easily get there.
agreed.
But if you're Geekay, then this is really hard. Then I forget which way it matches in the lower half, but
I feel like as long as we beat Peps, we have the best seed of NA.
Yeah, I agree.
I reckon you can do
I mean,
it.
do you think you can beat Peps?
I think so. I hope so.
I mean,
Maybe.
they were fucking demons versus Gen.G, dude. I don't know if you can manage that.
I don't know. I mean, like, we'll find out. But I mean, as long as we beat that team, I mean, we'll go straight to beating Crazy Raccoons, and then we'll beat LCAT in our grand finals. So there you go. That's the
a pretty
pathway.
easy
Pretty
pathway,
simple
to be
steps.
honest.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
yeah,
not
like,
bad.
it's
It's
crazy.
not bad.
It's really just that simple. Like, I don't know why. I don't even get work with the lower bracket because we just had the best seed to go straight to grand finals from upper.
Yeah.
True.
Who do you play if you lose to Crazy Raccoon? If big if.
Varel.
Varel.
Shit.
Hopefully, it can be Varel.
And then
You guys got the best seed,
yes,
dude. That
and
fucking
then
that
after-
99 bomb was the best thing that could
Yes.
ever happen.
And
to
then
you,
we play either
Yeah, we-
LCAT or
Yeah,
Weibo.
Weibo, yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
But I think
bro.
and then-
You'll play Alcad. I think Weibo. There's no way, bro. There's no way.
what you think?
What?
Weibo beat
think-
Alcad?
Oh, I thought it was the other way around. I thought.
No, yeah,
like,
we played a
elimination at
loser.
this point.
So
Oh,
our
okay,
path
yeah, you'll
is
play Weibo,
probably
yeah.
Peps hope to win. Crazy Raccoon. I'm gonna say we're gonna lose that one. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna call it early. Okay. I just got a feeling.
Bastard.
Okay? Sorry to say it. And then
Little
Varel,
mindset, like
Weibo, and then top 6. I think that's actually like a really favorable. Like,
And then T1, we're
has-
being Donghack, and then we're top 4, and then we're good to go. Then we get that
and who
out.
gives a fuck about it? Top 4, I'll take that. You know.
But then, like I said earlier, like Liquid could just play Falcons, lose the Falcons, play. I think they play like Team CC or something. But then they play immediately after that T1 or Twisted
Yeah.
Minds, and that's
'Cause
just
we
not very good
dodged-
for them at all.
Yeah, because I think it depends. Like my feeling is that Alcad and TM are going to be, especially what everyone says about like scrims and stuff. Everyone says that like Alcad and TM are clearly above like the NA teams, you know. And I think that's going to be true too. So the fact that our bracket we dodged those teams, I think is also I'm quite pleased about that. But I think we have a better chance against the EU teams than the other NA teams, personally.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I guess we'll see when we get in low ping if we can manage it. But yeah,
Take 'em
I don't
out.
know. Take a map.
yeah, I mean, you're
We
literally
took-
good for one map.
We took one map
Alcad,
versus
and then-
Twisted Minds and it was very mirror. Then after that, we
Yeah.
got shit on. So,
Yeah.
but I think that was before they were even practicing. Sorry, they were playing like Hazard. Like
And we had Lenny on sim the whole block too, so it was never
Oh, yeah.
winnable, you know.
that was on Sim Day, and it did not work out well. Because
I mean, Chronic was good for one versus Twisted at EWC, right? Like you
He
was, yeah.
he might be he might be a
Twisted.
land. Like he might just like
Yeah.
get unleashed on land. So
Lanimal versus Twisted, or like versus one of the Saudi teams in general, because I think your bracket has to be Alcad, right? It can't be Twisted, but just get that going and tap into that energy. Hope for the best in terms of the remainder of the alt usage on the team, and maybe you can get over the line, right?
Well, why not?
We'll see.
It's doable to me.
If you have two people, I mean, if you have a third person, so it's 3v5. It might really be on, to be honest.
Okay, to be fair though, okay, I'm gonna say this. There's a hot take. I think CJ has been the best flex support in NA this stage. I actually think CJ has been so fucking good, even in scrims. Like I watch him, I actually think he's unreal. Like he's
best carry for sure, right?
yeah,
he
he's
had,
definitely best Kyria. And,
Yeah,
I mean, he's not bad at Anna. I mean, maybe he's pretty like self-admittedly bad at Mora and like
yeah.
doesn't
The
like
Moira
Bap as
game
much
like
compared
ruined
to other
it.
guys.
Forget the Moira, yeah.
But yeah, he's the best Kyria, or at least very, very close to like Republic. I don't think he really plays it. So I think, yeah, he definitely is. He's definitely not a problem. Like I don't know, I see a lot of people flame him, but I don't think he's
Yeah.
ever like a problem. He's really easy to play with. He doesn't tilt. He's just like, kind of just goes with the flow. So like, he's chill. Like a lot of times people like will try to play a hero, do like hard carry, but he's just happy to play Kiriko and do his thing. And he's really good at it. So
I think in stage 1 and 2, he got like burned a lot in the public eye because it was like, people are constantly being like, why isn't Ultraviolet on the spot in his place? And then he has to play like Ana heaps in the mirror versus RuPaul and Ultraviolet. And, in those matchups, you can probably say that, those guys are a bit better than him at that. He had to play like BAP in stage 2 for periods of it as well. And he's like picking that up for not necessarily the first time, but, he's much more fresh on BAP than UV or than bloody RuPaul, like these guys have been playing that shit since they were, since they were born, just about. So he had like, a lot of pressure on him in those early stages to pick up like Overwatch 1 characters that the other two guys in the competition had like heaps of experience on. But I don't think that the gap really exists for him at all on the Overwatch 2 characters. I think it's like, he was the best Juno. He's like probably the best Kiri as well. Like you can say like there's no skill expression on Juno, but I mean that's not true. Like the other guys would die a lot. Like we would play versus like Geekay in stage 1, and they would play Juno. Like I remember like Lucia Juno was really meta at the beginning of stage 1, and it was like Chris was just way better than RuPaul and than Ultraviolet, because the other guys would wind up in the kill feed way more. They were just feeding, and that wasn't the case for Chris. I think Chris is really good at the Overwatch 2 characters.
Yeah, even when it was like we would mirror that one map every scrim with GK on Lu Wu, CJ would always win it, honestly. And like in UV was like one trick in that hero. So I agree. I think he's actually he's someone whose reputation got fucked. But I actually think, apart from that one Moira map, I actually think he played like really good across like every series we had. So good job, Chris.
Pat on
Thank
the back,
God Max signed him. Good job, Max.
Thank you, man.
We're going to talk about the grand final a bit as well, because you guys come out the wrong side of it, just about, but probably, what was the feeling
right
going
side.
in?
We're on the right side now.
You get tactically left that 1% on the table.
Yeah.
Was the feeling coming in that it would be this close, or what were you expecting?
Yeah, it's always a dogfight. The bans and like maps you can't win. But we honestly 100% should have won Ilios. Like, I believe we should have won Ilios 100%. And I mean, we would probably have gone Gibraltar like second map then, so you wouldn't be seeing it. It's Gibraltar map 7. But we threw a couple maps away that we just shouldn't have lost. And even this last map right here, like, was very, very winnable.
Yeah, I think one thing that we felt from scrims was like we call them our GG maps, like it's like Ilios and Gibraltar, and then the big problem we had was we had GG bans too, like it felt Lucio ban was pretty bad for us. A Kiri ban was like our lowest win rate, so we kind of had like this situation where a lot of ways to lose, especially with Ilios being in the pool and not being first seed. But I actually think throughout playoffs we did so well on all of the maps that we just like. I guess we actually, because we're a match day team, we actually tried on Ilios for once. But we beat Ilios against GK, and we actually tried in, and we should have won in this series. And I think this fucking Jib was close to. We won Hollywood with the Kiri ban, which is like insane. Ironically, the reason we lost this series was the maps which we would normally always win, like the Esperanza and the Suravasa, we got shit on, So it was almost like it wasn't the GG maps which were the problem in the end. It was our maps,
Yeah, this series is super close, and I think like I don't know, it's like really heartbreaking that we lost it, but at this point, I'm not over it. I'll never be over this stupid loss. Just like such a dumb way to lose, like losing to a Sigma, and like could have easily snowballed Esperanza. Like if we didn't like if we like Susan me or like I call it no bubble or something on that first fight when Infected just jumped into 5. Like we could have easily hard snowballed like Servasa, like. Not Sarasa, Esperanza. Like, it was so easy. I was max energy. I was like killing Vega and Tree, and I just got killed by Tree. And then at that point, like we just got shit on. We lost like a bunch of fights in a row, like Kiriel and Sigil, and then a bunch of other stuff. But that's just how push works.
Leading up to this with Team Liquid, I feel like a lot of the year it feels like everyone talks about Team Liquid being like the strongest in scrims. Was that true coming into this as well?
No, without a doubt, yeah. Like I think. Like we would against Team Liquid, I would say 90% of the season, our scrims would go one of two ways. We would either lose map 1 and get tilted and just get like 6-0 shit on, or we'd win or be close in the first maps and it would be like a really even scrim, like a dogfight, because we didn't like get fucking giga tilted from day one. And every now and then we'd dominate a scrim, but it was much rarer than the other way around. But I think we all, at least I felt, I don't know how you felt, Hawk, was like, I knew we're not going to like hard tilt like giga troll in an official, and I also know their comps are way harder for them to play in officials than it is to play our comps. Like I always knew that like trying to play Ball and Winston in officials is way harder against like a fucking off-tag diva team than it is in scrims where there's no pressure and you can like really min-max everything. So I actually thought especially after map 1, I thought we're gonna fucking win this series, to be honest with you, because I just felt like we were the better team at the time. But I think the Sigma was the killer. You know, should have
Honestly, that was
the Sigma.
That was his best performance all series. His Sigma was actually his best hero. Like, unironically, I felt his most presence on the Sigma, but compared to like the other heroes. But I feel like that's a problem in NA too. That a lot of players just like play worse in officials for some reason. Like, I feel like Geekay is like a good like match team because I feel like they don't play well in scrims. They always like play better in matches. But Liquid, Nightmare, like they all just like play, and like some individual players like throughout the scene just like play way worse in matches than they do in scrims. It's like pretty difficult to like ever win against a good team, especially when you're going to LAN. If people just play like significantly worse than they do in like officials.
Well, it feels like Team Liquid have had a hard time living up to it all year, really, in terms of like how good they're meant to be versus how good they actually are doing. Even though they do, obviously, they win this stage, it even feels like it's a huge dogfight for them in this series, you know? Like, easily could have gone the other way. A couple of series in the regular season, I think both against you guys and against Geekay, really could have gone the other way. It feels like they're always, I don't want to say playing down is not the right word, but it feels like they never have just like that convincing, we dominate, you know? Like, you know, like Twisted Minds with the grand final, and they just smash them. And there's every now and again the team will have this really convincing performance, but I don't think we've ever seen that from Team Liquid.
I feel like with how much like they're putting in resources, like they could have easily made a roster in the NA that like convincingly should be able to win instead of just like you said, playing down to other people's levels. Like I feel like there is like a NA roster like that could have easily 4-1 both of our teams. Like I don't know. Like I can't say that they played very well in this match, and I can't say we played very well because we gave up like 2 maps all for free. But like they should have, these guys should be way more dominant with how like the meta suits them, and you know like how long they've been together as a team. You know, and, like how much they scrim 3 blocks a day. You know, they're a serious team. They're a real team, so they should be way better than they are. Yeah, like
I think
but
like
they're still good, you know.
Their reputation in scrims seems to have like gone up over the course of the year, or at least for stage 3. I'm not sure if that's like due to team improvement or meta. They obviously went for like the idea, the narrative at the start of the year that they want to have like the team that's to be developed over the course, you know, like have a bunch of staff, have a bunch of like the youngest players, like all of the up and comers, and like make it work. But ultimately, like how much have they really moved the needle by the end of the year? Because like stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3, it's like stage 1, they lost 2 map 5 qualifiers to not make the LAN. Stage 2, they lost map 7 grand finals. Stage 3, they win map 7 grand finals. Like they haven't massively shifted their result, right? It's literally a difference of 1 map in the clutch over the course of the year. And like maybe that is like the desired level of development, right? Maybe that's what you want, to win the clutch situation in map 5 rather than lose it. But ultimately, they haven't come to the point where they're dominating the region. You know, they upgraded their roster after stage 1 too. They got Zera instead of Knife, which is a substantial upgrade, I think. And still, the margin is so incredibly slim, even when the meta suits them.
Yeah,
like Geekay is like way better internationally. Like had way better international performance.
Geekay is the best international performance of any full Western team ever. Sorry, Chris.
Yeah, well.
I mean, I think London's performance was like better. Eliminating Atlanta was better, but you know, like you placed lower in the tournament. But I do think London's result is better.
Overwatch League is better, mate. But I agree. I understand your point. I understand your point. Twice, by the way, back to back.
I guess we'll see. Like if they play well versus Falcons in T1, or maybe they beat Falcons. They play T1, but I mean, if they just like have another like, if they don't like shoot back versus these teams, like usually Geekay does shoot back versus like Falcons and like Alka and like a bunch of good teams in AWC. Well, I guess we'll see. But I mean, hopefully they shoot back. I don't know. Like, I think we'd be pretty bad for the scene if they don't shoot back.
They did have a map 5 against Crazy Raccoon at AWC, right?
Oh yeah, they did. But then they got
literally
obliterated by the T1. They got obliterated by T1. So yeah, I don't know.
I think
they had a close game.
At least sometimes in sports, like until you win, it's hard to win. And then you know how like people have that one statement win, or like they get over the line and it settles them, and then they feel more confident, and then they kind of like push on from there. You see all the time in in the UFC, they'll have that one big statement win, and then overnight they become like, you can just see them more confident. It's the same. I've seen it in every single sport possible. It's possible that like if this team like keeps playing, I don't know if it'll be the same at LAM, but like now that they know they can win, it'll be less like dogfighty. I mean, I guess the problem is saying that it's every single one of those players has won before, right? Like who's the first time winner? Just Tree? Did Infected win stage 1? Was he on Nightmare stage 1?
No, he was on Liquid the whole time.
No.
So this was Infected's first stage win too. Him and Tree, because Zera won stage 1, and obviously Vega and RuPaul have won it about 20 million times.
Yeah. I mean, they did have, like, this stage, they did win every clutch, right? They won map 5 against you guys in regular season. They won map 5 against Geekay in regular season. They won, I guess they 3-1 the upper bracket this time against Geekay, but then they win that map 7 against you guys as well. So it does, like, their record in all these, like, clutch maps is actually perfect this stage. So I think there is something there, right? Like, when we talk to some of the players and stuff, it does feel like they're sort of buying into that as well, you know? Like, it's like a good omen.
Yeah. How do we lose from here, by the way? Fucking hell, eh?
This has to be lap.
It can happen.
I remember. This is lap right here. And you'll take right here.
Gabby.
Gab.
We should have won right here.
Yeah.
Come back on Sim. I mean, the retake was like close as well. But yeah, I guess it's unlucky. This fight right here, I could just clutch it out. Guys back on Sim. Then comes next round is on Hanzo and just kills a player. We fight Hanzo.
Gets magic picks over and over.
Oh yeah, I couldn't get on him. It's like 3 stackers like and a brig on top. Whatever the map's called, Lighthouse.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I don't know. I kind of feel like shitting on Liquid after winning seems really fucking unfair, you know. But
yeah,
it's more like the standard you expect, right?
Yeah,
like the scrim results and everything else sort of leads you to almost expect more.
It's just you look at the map pool, you look at the meta, you look at like they get Ilios map 1, they like have all these options. Like I just feel like we should be getting like dominated sometimes, you know.
Can you put your finger on it though, right? Because I feel like when I watch Liquid this stage as well, like I see just like Tree and Zera do insane things as well at various times, you know? It feels like,
I mean, this,
and I don't look at RuPaul and Vega, and I don't feel like they're the problem, you know. And I don't feel Infected's the problem either. And it doesn't feel like there's like, you know, like with Nightmare, the diagnosis almost felt easy, right? Of like, what are they doing? What are they doing in terms of the comp selection or how they're playing or what they're playing for? Whereas here, it doesn't feel like I don't think I can give you a good answer.
Yeah. I think we shit on their RAM the whole series too, right? Like I know Cass said, like, oh, we didn't figure it out, but like I guess like one thing that's always been true for us in scrims too is when our comp is open versus their Ball and Winston, we did win more than we lost. I think actually, like I actually think we felt confident against their dive the whole time. So I don't know. Maybe it's like one of those things where I probably, you know what it is? I bet sometimes if I go back to our scrims and our watches, I'm like, well, of course we're getting fucking shit on because we're not banning properly and no one's trying. And it's all like the rivalry was probably always closer than it seemed to be. We're just not a scrim team at times, you know, like we're not always here for that. So I don't know. Maybe I buy too much into the 6-0 shitting on scrims more than it's them playing insane. Maybe it's just us being.
Maybe you've been gassing them up too much. Well, maybe you've been understudying yourself, Chrissy. Maybe that's it.
Yeah,
maybe SSG.
Could be it.
Yeah. Maybe we're actually dominant, like internationally. They were just like that good.
I actually think we will be, mate. Once we get to Sunderland, I think the world's in trouble. Okay.
That upper bracket, we're going straight to grand finals. Like up, I'm not even, like I said, not even worried about our bracket. Raccoons they're fucked. Actually, we gotta see the patch. We gotta see the patch first. Hold up, we gotta see the damage they've done to us.
We'll see if you feel as good about Ilios after you play Crazy Raccoon on Ilios.
I mean, this world's map pool is fucking horrendous, by the way. It's like it's not okay. Not okay.
All that protesting about Ilios, what did it get you?
I know, absolute fucking waste of time.
We're definitely second picking Shambali, and then they pick Blizzard World, and then we got to pick one of the push maps. So we got to win our push map, and then we got to, and then we go out of Flashpoint. Try to win it there.
In the bag.
Yeah. Yeah, Dorado, that's not being picked ever by us.
Are you going to be picking
You're-
up ball soon, Hawk? Or
Ball? I mean, sure that here gets
I
nerfed a
heard
little
murmurs.
bit.
You're expanding your pool a little bit. The actual key to success for your team this stage was going to be if you picked up the ball. Any whispers of that now that the map pool's been adjusted?
I mean, like, even if I'm like sufficient on ball, like Liquid still sucks at ball comps in comparison to the Korean region. So I can't even say that would even be good.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think it. There's no legs to it. It never happens.
Yeah, even if I was even somewhat decent at it, it would not matter
You're not
'Cause
going to
Liquid's-
1v9 dominate.
because Liquid's still like bad at it compared to Korea.
It's weird because like you think like Infected is really good at the ball, but there's levels to it, right? Like he's just not on that. He's not on that Dark Jumbin level. Unfortunately, he's more of a Mil Gizzy.
The problem is like when you play against a main tank player, you kind of test him a couple times, see like whether or not I could just kill him. And I mean, it happened in our Geekay series. Like a lot of times, we just thought, let's just kill Cuffle, let's focus him up, because he's like on monkey or ball. We just focus him up, or they're not coordinated. And it still happens versus Liquid too. But like when you play against like a good Korean team, and when you test them and they don't die, it gets very, very difficult very quickly because they start just surrounding you, 5-man surrounding you. Their supports are rotating at Mach 10, and their DPS are just like so mechanically gifted. That's when you just start feeling hopeless because you have no one to kill, and their tank isn't a viable target. It just like becomes a disaster.
Speaking of disaster, should we move on to the EMEA disaster? Because as much as Nightmare got sufficiently roasted, there's a team in EMEA that had an even more shocking result, really, and that is Virtus.pro failing to make the LAN, finishing in 5th, 6th, and I'm no data scientist, but it feels like Kevsa seems to be on a pretty bad run of qualifying for major tournaments here. So yeah, real disaster for VP. I mean, Gen.G, I've been saying for a while Gen.G is back. I didn't anticipate them being quite this back. But yeah, what do we make of this? Where did it all go wrong for Virtus.pro?
This is a fucking
Where do we
rough
start?
one.
Because
Anyone want to go first? Or should I go first?
I think we all have thoughts, right? So like whoever
Yeah.
goes first, it's just politeness. I'm going to make a coffee while you talk, and I'll come back and say the same thing.
That is polite. That is fucking polite. That's what I like about this guy. Oh, I don't know. This is like, it's so nice after all the fucking shit I did with TU to fucking sit here and be like, oh, well, look, I fucking didn't qualify for LAN. But this feels like the worst result of the season for any team. Like, top 6, because like whatever TU was shit, okay? Let's all admit it. Like, TU was shit. That's a fact, okay? But at least there was like 4 teams in EU that were like, at least with TU, you were a little bit scared. Whereas you looked at EU this time and you thought, well, this is a big free region, right? Like it seems so far-fetched for one of those top 3 teams to not make the LAN, because it was just like an outrageous player depth thing too. And fuck, I was glazing. Well, Hawk was doing it too in our scrims against them. We were glazing them like when we scrimmed against them that one time. And I don't know, yeah. And it looked so good, and you kind of felt like once they stepped out Vestola, they kind of like figured out their style, and you thought, okay, like you're getting the best out of everyone. And then I don't know, it's just maybe we'll talk about the TM series first, but I remember looking at all the comps they were playing against TM, and I was like, you have no fucking advantage here, Like, you're just playing like an off-tank mirror against fucking TM with UB in, Like, it looked, and I thought, well, there's whatever the fucking, like, one of the things that Kev maybe has a problem with is when he gets fucked in the metas where, like, Tracer isn't OP, all of the fucking UBs in the, like, Backbone sends him home every time, like in fucking Overwatch League and fucking in last season too, like, and it was the same with UB too. You're looking at it and you're thinking it's the same problem I had in a way. It's like, to get the most out of Kev, I'm not convinced you want an off-tank player, because if you go off-tank versus off-tank, then all of the Reapers and the Sims and the Maze are all better than Tracer in a lot of situations.
He's playing in the wrong region. He's playing
Yeah.
in the wrong region. Like, I don't know how he's supposed to win that region because, like you said, he's the one playing the off-tank player. But, like, it's hard as there's not that many good main tank players there, and you don't really want to be playing main tank versus a lot of these like teams that are like just like really, really good off-tank comps. So like he kind of just gets countered because he's not that good at sim. He probably knows that himself, but like I don't know, just like it feels like he's not able to like express what he wants to do in this region.
Yeah, and it's like it's too like the decision to give Shockwave all the playtime back too. It's like, well, again, now you're playing off-tank hit scan mirrors, and you think, well, fuck, he's pretty good at that, you know? Like, I'm not saying I think Shockwave is a good player and he's had a good season, but especially Libda and Quartz. Like, I mean, Quartz absolutely fucking tore him apart in that series, you know? Like, Quartz does that to everyone, you know? I saw him tear lip in you also like a few weeks ago, and you just look at it and you think, a lot of the time when you're in a region that has a meta, if you play off the meta, like I remember all the time in fucking TU, we'd get like Twilight or Heesung, we'd be like, oh, we need to play sim, because it's like if you're losing to a comp constantly, it's impossible for you to not think that you need to play that comp. And I feel somewhere that happened to VP like too many times. Ironically, we'll talk about TM later, but like too many times I think they just on fucking off tank hit scan Lucio Kiri against teams that even Gen.G really want that matchup, you know, like that's what they want to do too. I'd love to know what happened, like where the confidence went or whatever, but it feels like all the aura and the comps and the wide style and all this shit that VP just fucking gone by playoffs, wasn't it?
You want to take next, Xavier? I'm still brewing, so you know.
Oh, you still
came in? I'm really rehashing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the TM series were the most disappointing. Maybe not quite literally the most disappointing, but it felt like they just got blew out of the water and they never had any answer. And I think if you look back at the Alcad series in regular season, where it felt like VP had their number, then Alcad just changed like one or two heroes, and then VP are just stun locked and just go down, no swaps, no changes in terms of sort of play style or how they're dealing with this problem. It feels like they have a clear idea going in how they want to play, what they want to play, but there's never any adaptation mid-game or problem solving. And I feel like that means in so many of these series, you know, like how often in TM and Alcad does it feel like the series almost evolve as it goes along? As we get to map 4, map 5 or something, everyone's changed, or they've changed the comp, or they've changed one or two little things, even if it's just play style, even if it's just something simple. And it feels like VP never really have that. And I think that's why there's a couple of series this season where they've just been blown out of the water by teams. And I think that's another example of that against TM. And then I think against Gen.G, they got suckered into the dogfight. I mean, honestly, they really could have won it still. Like, it could have all just been fine if they'd won that Rialto, or maybe they hadn't, you know, the overtime one where they let the cart just push for a fucking mile on second despite having a player advantage. All these sort of little things that could have gone differently, and then it's all easily forgotten, right? If they win a close 3-2 against Gen.G and then beat Peps and qualify for LAN, it's all so easily forgotten. But yeah, I feel like this one's really painful, and it feels like the further we get in the year, the gap between them and TM and Alcad has just gotten bigger.
I just think, are we still talking VP, or are you only talking the gap between TM? I think with VP, it's like, I heard that they had like a bad week of like confidence destroying scrims like in the week leading in, but like everyone was saying throughout that entire stage that they were like top tier, you know? It's like they had that fucking blowout 0-3 match versus, I think it was Alcad. It was one of Alcad or TM. And then straight away they go back to 6-0ing them in scrims every day, you know? Like that team actually seems to have some sort of a performance problem, like under the pump, you know? Like stage 1, they were just way ahead in terms of like they really had all of the skill for their archetype, but like where has the success been off that archetype? I think that like Gala is kind of lacking in Kiri. I think when that team has to play the Lucia Kiri rush comps, that's what you see them really struggle. You're saying like they've got this style of like wide slow, but it's like they win when they play double flex with Gala and Fixer, you know? We saw Fixer repeat the ugliest beat known to man on Rialto attack, you know? Like he did, the fact that he did it twice is outrageous, but like that team was really reliant on this one particular style of like wide, slow, double flex, make it all happen. And as that has become less viable throughout the year, as they've had to do more, even though they change other pieces, you start to see some of the weak spots get exposed. You know, like Fixer looked solid on Lucio right up until the point that suddenly he really fucking didn't when he's making these huge blunders. Shockwave looked more than adequate on hit scan, and then suddenly, when there isn't that same level of support, that additional pressure from Gala just beaming on Ilari or something on the flank, suddenly he's getting bent over backwards by Zodial even. And I think that Meta exposed them a little bit, but they were still able to win in scrims. So like if that's if they're still winning in scrims all throughout the stage, all throughout the patch, like it has to be a performance problem, right? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it right to call them chokers? Like look at Kev's recent
We're doing it
performances,
anyway.
dude. Eighth place at LAN, and then 0 for 3 this year. Like that's fucked.
Yeah. The thing, you know, at the start of the year, I really wanted Gala on TU, obviously, and it was close to happening and stuff. And then you saw like VP got Gala and they were putting in flex support. And then I remember at the time thinking, I feel like that's a waste. It's like, because he can do the Lucio, you think he's really, really good with another flex support, you know? And then immediately Gala comes in and it's like, oh, it wasn't a waste. He's fucking insane, you know? And he played as the sole flex support, like insane in stage 1 and probably stage 2 too, you know? But it does feel somewhere that we've like, because they had like a big roster and they had like a team house and they had all this, and the ability, like they are so good at this wide style, and Smash is so good at coaching the map control style. You wonder, like, could you have traded like one of your like tank or DPS if another support even fucking existed? I don't know if it did, and made the style work. It just, I don't know. It feels somewhere that as the season went on, you no longer thought like, I remember in stage 1, I thought their backline was by far the best part about that team. Like unquestionably, Fixer Gala was way better. And I look at it now and say, landed like Alcad's got Kellex upgraded their backline, TM got Simple massively upgraded their backline, and all of a sudden I look at it, I think they're now the 3rd best backline. I think that's fair, right? Like I don't know. I think it is fair actually. I think that both Alcad and TM have a better backline. So I don't know. You look at it and it's just I don't know. It's like it's a fucking puzzling one because it feels like there's just way too many good players for that type of result.
But it's like they had the result in stage 1, but they had a huge advantage in the meta. You know, like they were the only team that had all of the requisite pieces to make it work.
Yeah.
But when everyone else's stuff is more viable, it doesn't work for them in the clutch, you know? Like, I don't know if it's right to call them chokers. And did you say, as I was walking off to make a coffee, that you think Gala should have stayed on main support? Because I don't really think that's true.
No, I
Because,
mean,
Gala's a really good flex support,
Yeah.
but he's not like a rush flex support, you know? Like, he's the player that wants to deal the damage. And, like, in EMEA, like, he's in the wrong region, just as Kev is in the wrong region, right? Like, Kev and Gala are a pretty good pairing for one another, right? Like, you throw them onto a team that wants to play the dive, like, Gala's fucking mechanically insane. Like, he will dominate. You put him on Ana or something, he's going to dominate. But, like, if he has to play Kiri and just do nothing but heal his fucking 100 charge Zarya non-stop, heal, like it's not a style that suits his strength, that suits his like insane level of talent. I don't think putting him on main support resolves that either, you know? Like for all of Vega being like the hyper flex main support, you know, like they found value with him being able to do that. They've also found the opposite of value when he fucking Ajaxes over and over again on Lucio, you know? Like if you're on like Twisted Minds or Alcad, like you'd be happier to have Kellex than you would be to have Vega, would you not? Like who's gonna make more mistakes in those like Lucio Rush matchups for you, you know?
Yeah.
Like do you care whether or not your Lucio has insane mechanics to play Illari when you're on one of these teams where all they do is fucking heal and just don't die and just have a good ult layer? Like that feels like half of their whole plan for these teams.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels somewhere that there was an opportunity somewhere along the line. I don't know who it was. I don't know who the player was, but like they could have leaned into that style more, and I don't know. It was
but wouldn't have actually solved it.
Well,
because if they've sort of come to the conclusion clearly that they had to play Kiri Lucio in so many situations, right? And it sounds like they had success in scrims playing Kiri Lucio. So is it just does it just boil down to like the last two stages have just been tough meta-wise for them?
No, I don't know. Were they winning in this? Because when we scrimmed them, I don't think it was them on Lucio Kiri most of the time. It was like tons of like.
I don't know what they were on.
Like, were they winning once they went Zarya, Lucio, Kiri? Because I just maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Actually, to believe I'm struggling to believe once they swapped to that comp, they were winning against TM and Alcad. And the other thing too, we'll get to it in a second. But you know, the team in EU that won was playing fucking double flex. By the way, like TM without a coach, without a double flex players. They fucking played VP style and smashed Alcad, you know? Like TM fucking did it. Like if they had a time machine, they could play that comp that TM was fucking taken over on. It would be perfect for them, you know? It was Hazard, Wu, Kiri is their comp because they think Hazard is the same versus the Sim.
Zarya. As well, yeah. They always played into that. They played a fair amount of Zarya in the final as well, to be fair, TM as well, but still the same.
Because it clearly can work. It clearly can beat the EU teams. It clearly does beat the Sim, you know? And it was there for them. And it's like, I mean, you have to give insane glaze to TM because they have no coach. And they were so brave.
Don't be glazing them.
So fucking brave with their decisions and so smart with like their decision making. And they figured it out. Well, you know, all these fucking EU teams have got the fucking crusty drunk fuck smashers all there, and fucking Yubi figured it out, just subbed himself out. But I don't know.
So it really was Yubi at EWC, not you.
Without a doubt, yeah.
Typical. Yeah. I don't know. I think that's like got to be the worst loss like of the year for any like major team, right? Agreed. Like that's somehow even worse than SSG fourth last stage. You know, like is that even possible? Like. Insanity. Well, Vlad's coaches, what can you do?
I feel like still want to give some credit to Gen.G here as well, because I feel like we'll get onto their downfall, like their re-downfall, but like an incredible turnaround actually for Gen.G this stage. Like in those first few weeks of the stage, watching Gen.G, I was like, this is cooked. And I'm sure if you actually spoke to a few of the players at the time, I think the sentiment might have been there as well, that it was going to be a rough one. But they did a really good job. They got themselves together. I think, and talking to the players, it felt like there was a lot of internal conversations about what their problems were. And it felt like they were able to put it together. And they found comps that worked for them. Again, same old story, right? Of finding their style, finding a way to make their strong heroes work, get Backbone just on Reaper as much as possible, Tread on Zarya. So I felt like they did a really great job pulling it back together. And Zodial had like what felt like, I know we kind of had like some breakout performances last year, but this run at the end of stage 3 feels like the best we've seen from him.
Yeah, I agree. I think he really is like he's no longer next up. Like I think he's up. Like I think that performance versus VP here, he was like, he did like the quartz and the Libda thing where he just put the lobby on his back, like the all elite hit scans need to be able to do. So yeah, I think some glaze, but I suspect when we talk about the next series, I'm going to deglaze the pan, if you know what I mean.
I think it's hard to put it on him for that next series, to be fair, even though it's him, but you know, external factor him. Overall though, like with Zodial, like the narrative was like, you know, you put a good team around this guy and he's going to start clutching up. They didn't even do that and he started clutching up, you know? He's had, you know, Crispy's had some bad rolls.
One more bad
This was his best. No, this was his best role yet. This was his best role yet until it unraveled a little bit on the final day. Yeah. But yeah, like even week 5 when they played TM and they took him to map 5, and then week 6 they played Alcad. In both of these serials, Zodi was going like, toe to toe with like Quartz and Lubta, who are the people we always talk about, and he looks for part against all of them. And then just the same against Shockwave here on VP, you know, and that's literally. He's run it against all of them. So I feel like going into next year, he's probably going to be at the top of a lot of people's shopping list. But we can't help but talk about... So Gen.G beat VP. And at this point, Gen.G are probably eyeing up things to do at Stockholm on at the end of the month. Because they have to play Peps. I think their confidence going into it was super high. I think Peps has been struggling a lot in scrims and with other results. And it all seemed like it was destined for Gen.G to book their tickets. And then we get in this horrible situation where we load into map 1 of Ilios. We immediately pause because Zodial has left the lobby. And then we're waiting. And the waiting wasn't the problem. It's when we stopped waiting as we hit the end of the 15-minute allocated pause time, at which point Gen.G are told, you're out of pause time, you got to play. No Zodial. So Zodial plays, or they play without Zodial. They do a classic, lose as slow as possible. Try buy time for Zodial to get back. For clarity, Zodial's issues, he was having internet problems, not his fault. I think one of the major ISPs in Spain on that day was just having nationwide issues. So very much out of his control. So Gen.G are forced to play. And then Zodial comes back in partway through Ilios, but he's on like, what do you call it? Like hotspot. So he's on 350 ping, which is too much ping. That's too much ping. That's way too much ping. He's on that for all of Eichenwald. We then go to a 35-minute break between Eichenwald and Esperanza, at which point Zodial is back. They lose that map as well, to be fair. But
yeah, they get 3-0.
Yeah, so it's fair to say there was probably a decent amount of mental damage done in those first 2 maps. So map 3, Peps won fair and square in all of this. So a really heartbreaking wave, and it's all fall apart for Gen.G. So there's probably a lot to unpack here. So I don't know where we want to start.
Okay, I'm going to say this, okay? And this is the biggest comeback story, or the biggest, what do they call it, where you, in Game of Thrones, where you character twists. I don't know, whatever fucking...
Like a heel turn?
Something like that. I had too much wine. I'm going to fucking glaze Peps here. I think Peps, I honestly think, I think Peps winning this series, by the way. I think the narrative we've spun is that Gen.G were robbed of this series. But look at the fucking comps that are on screen right now. Peps are winning map 1. 100% Gen.G are fucked in Diva ban on Ilios. Trust me on this. They are fucked, okay? Like, the comp that they have on screen right now, I know Exodia's on ping, but this is such a tricky matchup, you know? I think Peps' comps and everything that Peps are doing, I think they had a really good answer to everything Gen.G were going to do. Like they just won 1 map fair and square, but they didn't lose any maps fair and square. I think Peps are winning this series regardless. I think it might have been a 3-0.
I think
I just don't agree. Like with the quality of like what these 2 teams have been playing like throughout the duration of the stage. I think you say like, there's no way that Gen.G is winning this one. It's like we see one slice of one cough point where it's like Gen.G loses the first fight here because Zodial wasn't even in the server until the first fight is over. No, like that. Yeah. It's really like it's beyond dodgy. Like right now you see a 5v5 where Zodial is right now on ping, like on that huge 350 ping. But like if you look at the start of the round, Zodial wasn't even in the round yet. Like he showed up late to this party. Maybe. And if they can get to 75-83 with someone on 350 ping that missed the first fight because he wasn't in the server, you can't tell me that having regular conditions doesn't move the needle, you know? Whether or not the comps are better or not on paper, it's like Gen.G is the ultra constrained team that is playing weird shit 24/7. Team Peps, like they're playing their best of their best right now. This is as good as it's going to get for them.
This is Gen.G's hardest situation, right? Diva ban Ilios, like it's...
Yeah.
It doesn't...
But all of the comps Peps play is the same stuff that TM do against like the sim stuff. Like, I don't know. Obviously, no one can prove anyone right or wrong, but I think Peps are winning this. I think that like their comp system, their bans, like the fact they had highest seed, like everything they do, I think they were like massively favored in this series. I don't think it was just
no, I don't think they're massively favored. I think you're right in the sense that the idea that it was going to be a Gen.G blowout if Gen.G were on good ping, I think that's wrong. I think this series was really close. Yeah, I think this would be like a bit of tennis in this, you know, like this Ilios would be really hard for him. Literally see Chris perk up.
Like the tennis theory. Tennis.
And I think it would have been really back and forth, and it would have just been, you know, better team on the day, take it. Because to be fair, like, admittedly, like, caveats on all of these. Like Dip had a really great performance, and we shouldn't take away from Peps against Vision the week before, right? Because that was a game that I think we probably wrote Peps off more heavily in than they would have been in this one, and Pep smashed Vision there.
I think one thing we have to say too is, as much as VP losing was the worst result of the season, Peps making LAN is one of the most fucking incredible achievements too, you know? Like, this org was like budget org, just every season just lost all of its fucking players, like almost always rebuilt stronger, like got this team qualified to LAN, which is insane. Like, even if like whatever you say, like Gen.G could have won whatever, they still beat Vision. They still they were still right there for it, you know? Like, okay, they needed a few things to go their way for sure. And then they do all of this like fundraising stuff. Like, how much money did they make to support the players for LAN? I don't know where the money's going, but it was like an insane number, wasn't it? Like, actually, Fefe, if we had an opposite of client of the week of like legend of the week, like Fefe has actually done so fucking good with like this org, you know? Like, I think he's actually built like you look at like Nightmare, for example, which is like the other end of the spectrum, which is like another budget, or that's just someone plowed money into it. I feel like Fefe's built everything. He's like grown everything. Like,
it's a functional, sustainable small business.
Yeah. I actually got to give like, I can't believe I'm saying it. Like, what fuck? I went to NA, but I fucking love Peps all of a sudden. Like, Peps W.
No, I agree. Like, it's a shame all of it's sort of clouded in this messy pause situation, but like, yeah, I'm happy for Peps. You know, it's not like I think they're going to go maybe that far at Stockholm, but
I hope not.
that's in your guys' hands, maybe more than anything. But I think it's really great that they've got the opportunity. They've clearly got the support there, as shown by the fundraiser.
I think they're going to have an insane crowd at LAN. I think they're going to be the team that everyone cheers for. I think the crowd's going to be super peppy.
Well, what? 2 Swedish players on the roster, right?
Yeah.
Also
European.
Close enough now. Like,
loads of fans will be going. I bet the Peps crowd is insane.
So yeah, pleased for Peps overall. Obviously, they then got blown out of the water by... Which way around was it? By TM?
But they don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, at that point, the champagne's already been popped by that point.
Yeah.
So the main thing, obviously, to talk about is the Alcad Twisted Minds dynamic that sort of swung back and forth. Alcad won the upper bracket. Oh, go on.
I wanted to say one thing about Peps.
Go on.
I think, you know, for all of the negativity around the Gen.G game and stuff, the Peps production is actually so fucking cool. Like, watching back the clips of their team qualifying and seeing that they've rented out like some little room and they're casting it like right there in the room, like doing a watch party where they're casting the game in French at the same time, pretty much. And then like they're all screaming and the arena of like 15 people in a room is erupting. Yeah. Like, I think it's a really cool production, you know. Like, it's nice to see something that feels like you know, maybe some grassroots esports.
That's grassroots esports.
You know, like that's actually really fucking cool. And then they've done like these fundraisers after the fact, and like they have no trouble at all mobilizing the French fan base to raise any amount of money to go to Worlds. And I will just forever go to sleep haunted by the sound of Fefe screaming, "Allez World!" So
yeah, I imagine they'll put on a good show for Stockholm as well. All right, TM Alcad then. So Alcad win 3-2 upper bracket final, and then TM blow them out of the water in the grand final in what's felt like the most one-sided sort of game we've got out of these teams in quite a while. So we already did a bit of, I guess, pre-glazing of TM leading into this one. So obviously some of the big things is this is Psycho in the starting lineup, TVNT in the starting lineup as well, which has been probably rarer throughout most of the course of this year. Different comps now we really associate with Twisted Minds as well, but it felt like it was one of their best looks they've had all year.
Yeah, I really wanted in EWC. I really think this is something that like TM have been lacking, is they actually have like 2 insane different lineups that play different stuff. You know, like, I think TVNT is so fucking good, by the way. Like, I think he's actually insane at his heroes, and Psycho is obviously class too. And like, you just have like this lineup, and it makes sense. Let's stop taking the mirror that we've taken 6 times and lost 6 times. Let's do something that worked in SEL. For me, it's like, this is, again, like, it's a brave decision. It's a smart decision. Like, they understand how to play their comp, you know? It's like, I think Hawk said earlier, something right, if you've got like Astro and Gator in the team, that you have like enough players who are coaches. Like, they obviously also still got Astro, but it feels like there's enough knowledge behind the scenes to make it work, and it looks good. For me, the only thing is, like, I feel like with TM is, I want them to start doing it mid-series. Like, imagine how strong this TM team is if they can play this lineup, but also just go New Junk City, protect DPS, and put UB in. You know, like, they don't have to just do like a full UV series and a full Psycho series. Like, you can mix and match. I swear it's fucking, like, I swear it's good. Like, I swear it covers them. They become like an EU team that's like, I mean, maybe they're still a little bit fucked on maps like Gibraltar, but I think they become more flexible in certain situations. They can punish you. They can put like TVT and Psycho in, ban Lucio against the Lucio team, and then on the next map, put UB in and like play Lucio. Like, they can do both, and they know how to play both. But yeah, I don't know. I think this is like a really brave decision. It's a smart decision. They made a comp work that, ironically, teams that should be able to make it work couldn't. And nothing but glaze for them.
Yeah, I agree with it all.
Sorted.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say besides they lost like the series, like the winners finals. They played a lot of Hazard, and the next day just played the Zarya mirror and just won with like their same like backline style. So like, I don't know. I think maybe they tried to not mirror the Zarya like the day before. You know, it was a close series, and then they just like figured it out the next day.
Yeah, because it felt like the Hazard was like their go-to solution for a while, right? They thought that was like their secret ingredient for beating Alcad, but then Zarya came out and just as effective. Well, actually more effective.
I think that's smart. I think Hazard's pretty hard versus Zarya if you're like playing like that. So I think that's pretty good adaptation they did to the grand final.
All right, so playoffs done. Everything locked in team-wise. We have our 12 teams as well. There's actually been some roster news. Obviously, there's a lot of downsides to going out 5th or 6th in stage 3 when you're expected to qualify. The good news is, though, you can start early in your off season. So roster moves already taken place for Virtus.pro. They've confirmed that Jwoo and Vestler will be leaving the roster. Obviously, the only person officially confirmed for next year actually on VP is Smash, who they announced his contract being extended. I think it's probably fair to say that while these two are leaving now, I don't think that by any means guarantees the remaining 5 players will definitely be there or definitely won't be there. It probably just means these are the decisions they've made first. A lot was probably made of Jwoo in particular, maybe especially in that Gen.G series, because they go down 3-2 and Jwoo wins both his maps. And then there's obviously the same sort of case. I've seen some really horrendous narratives on Reddit about how Kevs is the problem and that they should have kept Jwoo and stuff like this. You know, Jwoo won his maps, they qualified to the lands with Jwoo. Kev comes in, they don't qualify to the lands. Clearly, Kev's just washed all this sort of bullshit.
He's like 50-4. He's so fucking washed.
Yeah. So I don't think were these roster moves surprising for anyone?
No. I think people said that Jwoo wasn't having the best of time away from Korea anyway. Like, I think someone said to me that he might have left after stage 2 and stuff. I do think there is an argument that if they'd committed more to the double flex, that they could have potentially built another style that no one could have been able to match, because they're both really good. But I think, yeah, I don't know. I guess you kind of predicted it. Did any of you guys watch the VP video that they put out? Like it was like 20-minute long.
Like their thoughts at the end of the season one.
Yeah, and it was quite interesting to watch. You should watch it if you get time, because it's like they interview all the players and they're quite candid about everything that went wrong. And one thing that I thought was really interesting is I remember Gala was really really blunt. Like, he thought the decision to do 2 tanks was terrible, and I think Vest said something similar. And actually, like, that was like, I think you can kind of see there's like a slight factions within the team. Like, I know Gala loves Vest, like they're like best friends, and I think them really didn't like that. Like, Ice was splitting playtime, and they felt like that was like a big thing. So it doesn't surprise me that they've pushed immediately. I don't think they'll get a second tank. That would be my guess. Is after all their experiences, I think assuming that Ice stays, it's just going to be Ice. So if they get someone new, it'll just be whoever it is. And then I don't know what you do with the rest of it. It feels stupid to blow it up, especially under the assumption that like TM and Alcad are going to be free agents. Like they're going to also get re-signed for next season. Then I don't really know where the upgrades come from.
I guess like Zodiel was the one that a lot of people would point to as like bringing Zodiel in a similar way that you sort of brought in Ice as the sort of, I guess, next up tank player. Do a similar thing with Zodiel as well.
It's also like they've cut Jaywood loose. They've opened up an import slot so they can take from anywhere. You know, like I think a big part of people are like, oh, why don't they run with like Kev, Jaywood, Perma? And it's like, well, you can't play double flex DPS everywhere, and both of those guys are going to lose a lot of power if they have to go and play hit scan. Is probably the feeling, but by getting rid of Jaywood, they open up the import slot so they can maybe import there. I definitely think that the biggest problem for that team wasn't necessarily any one individual. It was sort of like, you know, they have two tanks. You really want to play Ice because it's like, oh, Ice, he's like the young gun. He's got all the potential. He plays like a lot of these new heroes that are important for beating out teams like Twisted Minds and Alcad. He has that flexibility. He can play the ball. He can play the Overwatch 2 heroes. But Vest is like really rock solid, and Vest is kind of well suited to their slow, wide style as well. You know, like you've got the guy that plays Sigma when you're trying to play poke and play long range. So like there's no good time to rip the Band-Aid off and to make that change, to start developing Ice and to stop putting time into Vest. So, you know, unless one of them like really steps up and overperforms the other, you just wind up in this awkward situation where you're splitting time and you know, it just never works and there's never a good time. But, you know, now they've got a whole off season. They cut Vest.
All the time in the world.
Yeah, cheers.
Yeah, I feel like it was probably... I don't know, at the time when they signed Ice, and it felt a little bit like, do they really need Ice? You know, like, is he going to add massively to the heroes they can play or the styles they can play or anything like that? And I think ultimately, maybe the original idea of Ice is going to be the Winston guy didn't quite have the gas in the tank to go anywhere, but actually adding ball and stuff, you know, and having like a ball Zarya hazard player actually feels like a pretty good thing to have in this meta. And you see a lot of teams that don't really even have that, you know, even if you look at some of like the Korean tanks, they don't really have that sort of variation in hero pool a lot of the time. So it felt like the right move, and split of the playtime would ultimately, if they're forced to pick, they're probably always going to invest in the younger one with a lot of promise. So maybe that one's not as surprising. But I think this is probably also not the end of like the roster moves as well. I don't think like this is we're just going to see the remaining 5 players next year. I think there's a chance to upgrade. I think as far as getting imports into EMEA, Smash is probably about as connected as you can be within the scene.
And the team house too, which is like the most important thing. So they're the most equipped to get Koreans in.
You see everyone saying, you should have cut Fixer. It's like, who the fuck are you going to replace him with, you know? It's like the most dry role in the world, main support. It's so hard. You can get Lee Shin-min, get another Korean guy that isn't on a top team that also can't speak English, you know? Like, just take Fixer, you know? At least he speaks a bit of English and he's developing. But, I don't know. Like, that team is by far like the best positioned in EMEA to do the importing, right? Like, it feels like you're not going to expect changes from Twisted Alcad. So like they're definitely capable, and like they can pay for it, they can house them, they have a Korean coach, they have all of the requisite tools to import Korean if they want to do so. It's just a question of what direction they want to go with next year.
Who they can get as well, right?
Yeah, accessibility
like, I
matters
think
a lot.
That's like for, you know, like, because there's obviously loads of obvious options, but most of the obvious options you would go for just will be playing on these Crazy Raccoon, T1, even Zeta. A lot of them would probably pick above Virtus.pro just because of the ability to stay in Korea as well. So I think there's they have the capability. It's just who will actually be willing to go when it comes down to it. All right. Then the big announcement that's happened is the return of the Overwatch World Cup in 2026. This was met with all sorts of fanfare and excitement. Obviously, a lot of people had been maybe anticipating this with sort of BlizzCon expected to come back here. If you look at this graphic here, you can see, if you squint a little bit, top right, that's the Overwatch World Cup, front and center, as one of the many events going on at BlizzCon. They've not really announced any details. I think the primary purpose of this announcement was actually more just to announce the tickets are going on sale at the end of, it would have been last Friday now, and start drumming up sales for that. But for, I think, most Overwatch fans, the fact that the World Cup is coming back has been met with pretty unanimous positivity here, and obviously everyone's immediately cashing in the social bucks in terms of World Cup power rankings. I mean, I tweeted asking who should be on Team UK, and I thought it was obvious I was being a bit sarcastic, you know, because it's like the question that everyone already asks. It's fair to
100
say,
clients.
fair to say, my DMs have been full with people asking. I don't know, guys. It literally got announced yesterday. No, it wasn't a real tweet, I'm afraid. So if you've not received a response from me, you're never being on Team UK.
I've got like OS players that I've like never directly interacted with typing in my stream Discord, even though they never did so previously, because they're trying to like social engineer their way into my head, you know? Like I've not had a conversation with them, but like I've got like the OS specific like leftovers players like typing more frequently in my stream Discord than they otherwise would be while I'm not streaming, because I can see the game they're trying to play here. You know, they're trying to engineer their way onto the roster because it's like I'm gonna have to wind up being the coach, right? Like there's nobody. I haven't even said I didn't tweet about the World Cup. I didn't say anything about the World Cup. But it's like who the fuck else is gonna be the coach for Team Australia?
Are you gonna do it?
I don't even want to really.
Yeah,
You want to go to the cave?
Mate,
You want to go to the cave?
True.
mate,
I've
a free flight,
unfinished
a free
business
flight.
at the cave. Like if we can get Kai in there too, like we got a bone to pick at the cave.
I'm
but, like,
taking
that's a story
Smiths
for
just to
another
get
day.
him into the cave. That's all
One
I'm
of you
saying.
two, yeah, one of you guys can get Kai as well. I don't care who it is.
If
We
Kai
get Kai
goes,
to the cave.
if Kai goes, I'll put my hand up. I'll put my hand up to the team. That's the condition for me.
Would
Yeah, we
you
can
play
do that.
Hawk if you can?
I think so, but I probably wouldn't be the only tank on there, so it kind of just depends on the meta. But yeah, I don't know. Like maybe I'll play this time.
Give Boston
Then-
another year, he'll be a dominator, and you'll be a bum, dude. Give it up.
Maybe we'll see.
It's one more year of
But-
development, dude.
One more year of screwing the same two teams over and over again.
Rafa's gonna get him right, dude. That's 6 weeks of boot camps throughout the year, assuming they qualify for 3 lands. So yeah, just you wait, buddy. Just you wait.
Could be a bold assumption after this, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I like going BlizzCon no matter what. It's always fun weekend. But we'll see about competing.
I just hope someone will theory craft a Team USA lineup for me, because I haven't seen anyone
I mean,
do it.
you've got Albert
Yeah, I
Yeh
mean,
out of
it's-
tweeting retirement, dude.
Oh
Like,
my
fuck.
god, the number, it's like a fucking zombie apocalypse here with people just rising from the fucking dead who haven't tweeted or talked about Overwatch in years to sort of suddenly throw their hat back into the ring or come with their fucking hot take or, yeah. I don't know.
That's why the World Cup is insane, because everybody fucking loves it, you know? Like, it's just...
I mean, it's
It
the
is.
best Overwatch product that Blizzard has ever had, right? Like people
Yeah.
genuinely love the
Engagement's so
Overwatch
high.
World Cup. Like it doesn't matter whether you're Albert Yeh or McGravy or anyone else that's no longer involved in the scene. You will make a comeback for the World Cup. You know, everybody wants to throw their hat into the ring. But like outside of just pro engagement, like the fans love Overwatch World Cup above everything else. Like it's a favorite product. I mean, I'm really. I was happy to see it back in the lineup, but I want to see the details, you know? Like there's no details about the event at all. Like every year that they've done the World Cup, they've changed the format a little bit, you know? They've changed how many teams are going to the lands, how many lands there even are. Like if you go back far enough, you know, it was like I
regional
think the Australian guys went to Thailand or something like that to play regional land before going to North America. Whereas, you know, the most recent iteration of it, I think it was top 2 per like little sub region or something. Like I think I remember Australia, and I can't even remember the other team that came through for our sub region. I think it was Thailand. It was Thailand or India, but I can't remember who came in the end. No, it was Thailand because India spent a bunch of money to not qualify. That was right. But yeah, like every year it changes, and I assume this year will probably be, well, next year will be no different in that regard. Like there'll probably be format changes once again, and I really want to know like how long is the event going to run for, and how many teams are going to be there, and yada yada yada.
2 days, I think they said, event-wise.
Was it more than 2 last time?
Let me see. So
It had to
last
be,
time,
right?
Yeah, it was.
last time was 16 teams in total, and so a group stage.
Because there were games before doors opened at BlizzCon.
Yeah, we were
right?
there for. Actually, now I remember, we were there ages, weren't we? We were there for
Yeah, it
like a
was
whole week
quite
or
a-
something.
Yeah.
We must have played like a whole group stage off. I mean, maybe because obviously when they say it's going to be a 2-day event, they're mainly talking from a BlizzCon point of view. So it's possible we could still do like a studio only group stage during the week, and then 2 events of actual stage games, or 2 days of stage games rather.
Because I think only top 8 was on stage, right?
Yeah,
And
top 8 was on
groups to trim everyone
stage.
was, yeah.
And top 8
hopefully there's
happened
still-
over the course of 2 days last year as well. So it could just be the same schedule.
Hopefully it's still top 16 rather than just top 8. Because I think if it's only top 8, then it's like that cuts so many other countries that like, get really into it. You know, like maybe Australia would still qualify because we came first in like our regional qualifier bracket before. But like at the end of the day, like if it goes from 16 down to 8, that's way less teams. But if it's only 2 days rather than 4, it has to be 8, right? There's no time.
Yeah,
otherwise.
like the reason I think that it was only 8 teams got to play on stage was just the limitation of amount of stage time and to have like the actual games happen. So it'd be a shame because obviously, like if you look at the teams that didn't make it last year, like out of the group stage basically, so not out of top 8, it's like Australia, Brazil, Colombia, Mexico, Thailand, Hong Kong, Japan, France. And maybe these aren't like the most exciting teams, but I think, it really does add to the World Cup nature of it. The fact that you have all these different nationalities, all these sort of clashes of different regions, different levels, I guess, of development in Overwatch is what
people tune in to watch their country is the thing. I'm not tuning in to back any other country other than Australia, right? Like, you watch to support your nation or to prey on the downfall of Team USA. But like outside of those 2 situations, it's like, you care less about the World Cup when it's not your country playing. So yeah,
or even not even your country attending, right? Like I think it feels different. Like it's one thing if Australia are there and they get knocked out in groups or something, but at least there's a reason to tune in. And if you start tuning in, maybe you stay even if Australia get knocked out because you maybe like Japan had like a pretty exciting. I know they didn't get out of groups, but they were like, wow, this Japan team is actually a real threat in this one. This is scary now for USA, Saudi Arabia, whoever was in the group.
And the group stage is really important in that regard too, because it's like once you're in top 8, you have like pretty much every result is expected more or less. But like in the group stage component, there are interesting groups where like, countries actually get to separate themselves from one another. You never show up to the Overwatch World Cup as Team Australia wanting to come first, right? Well, you want to come first, but you don't expect to come first. But what you want to do is you want to perform well in your group to say that you were better than France or something like that. We didn't play France. It was the UK and we got shit on. We weren't better than the UK, would you believe? But yeah. That's like a lot of the passion and the drive for showing up at an event like the Overwatch World Cup is you want to play against as many countries as you possibly can on the LAN environment so that you can prove that you're better than that country at the game. Whether or not that applied for Team Australia last time we showed up to the World Cup, I mean, every showing before it was better. But yeah, I think hopefully there's lots of teams still in attendance. Hopefully there's some studio time.
I think they can't do top 8 because just think about it from a formatting perspective, they need to do 16 teams because how do you pick which regions go from the top 8? Because if you're doing top 8, you can't include South America if you're being real. But good luck making a World Cup.
You can't have a World Cup without it. Yeah.
And it's
without
like, well, you're not,
a bunch of a world.
China need to go, Japan need to go, Korea need to go. Like, are you only going to do like, you need to at least like, of the 8, it has to be like at least 3 or 4 European, 2 North American. Like it has to be 16. I don't see any way you can do top 8 and not scam a continent like really aggressively.
Well, can they do it like any more online than they already did? Like is that a possibility?
What's
I
the
don't really
ping
know.
like North America to South America?
They did that last time, did they not? Like
Give us grim South American servers, Hawk.
No, I think it's high. I don't think it's low. It's not like it's not like 80 or it's like above like 120 or something.
So yeah, last year they did. Oh, okay. They didn't do. I think they put like all of South America in one group, and then there was like North and Central America in the other group. So they limited the ping variation.
Right.
But then that means you also got like a tougher role. Because Canada and USA are in that northern part of the group, which are probably the 2 strongest teams in both regions. So,
yeah. The other thing that I'm interested in with regards to Overwatch World Cup is, does this mean that there's going to be no Blizzard participation for the Esports Nations Cup or not? Because I feel like it's weird to have this is in September, right? The Overwatch World Cup, and the Esports Nation Cup is in November of the same year. When ENC announced their publishers that are partnering with them for the event, Blizzard wasn't on that list. And now Blizzard has announced their own World Cup product, which they have consistently run. It feels like it would be. It feels like this means that Overwatch isn't going to be at the ENC. Not confirmed, obviously, but just trying to read between the lines here. The fact that Overwatch is running a World Cup product 2 months before Saudi Arabia is running a World Cup product maybe signals that Overwatch isn't going to be participating in that, which I'm very curious.
If you think about assuming we want to do free lands and stuff next year, there's not enough time. Like the fucking calendar doesn't work to do EWC, ENC, WC,
yeah,
and then two OWCS lands too. Like I don't think you can fit 5 lands in and not. Like when the fuck is World Finals if like you've got
even this
September World Cup and then you've got to go straight to World Finals at Stockholm or the equivalent next year?
Yeah,
well, it's already awkward anyway because obviously they're just going to put BlizzCon when they think is best for BlizzCon, right? But that means but that means from an OWCS standpoint, you're probably going to have stage 3 start afterwards, basically. So you do stage 1, stage 2. You'd play the World Cup, and then stage 3 starts right after the World Cup or something.
Yeah, and if they started that after BlizzCon, then there wouldn't be time for ENC unless stage
right.
It's like you start OWCS at the very, in the middle of September. You can't fit an entire OWCS. Well, maybe you can. Maybe you can do like 6 weeks regular season. If you went straight to the tournament thereafter, which would be impossible for visas, which means that because you need a certain amount of time between the qualification and the LAN for people to get visas.
Yeah.
And without like that buffer of what is like a month at least usually, I feel like it just doesn't fit in the calendar, right?
No, I agree. Not enough calendars.
Yeah, I feel like it's theory. It's probably never going to be like.
We haven't had a theory all day. Like we needed something. Thank God we got this at the 11th hour.
3 hours in, we got calendar theory. Thank God.
It's like Hawk hasn't said a word in an hour and a half. I'm pretty sure he's just been a still image for the past hour. But at least we got our theory out the way.
I think they might actually just like not do World Finals. They might just do like 3 times to 4 in BlizzCon. Like they might start early. Like do maybe the finals is EWC.
What you mean? Like they do 3 lands before September?
Yeah.
No way.
Wow, that would be optimistic.
I feel like it'd be so awkward to like start it again after World Cup.
When is EWC?
I don't know. I have no idea. But like it was like
I didn't qualify.
It's like there's no way because they're not going to finish their event calendar on EWC in the middle of the year. Like it's not possible.
It's too early to finish.
Yeah.
Maybe
I also think Blizzard like having EWC and World Finals as separate events. Like I don't think they want to roll them in together.
Yeah, I think
they like to run their own show for the World Finals. Like separate from EWC. Like they want the Stockholm World Finals to be like the culmination of the year. And there's no way that they're going to have the culmination of the year at EWC in August.
Yeah, it runs until August 23rd next year. Obviously, it goes over a month, and Overwatch is normally only one of those weekends, but that's the latest it could be. So that also means it ends just in time. Like if it'll be sometime in that sort of early August, probably, or late July, and then it probably sets you up nicely to qualify for the World Cup. Well, a month of qualifiers for the World Cup, and then they send the teams to Anaheim in September.
Yeah, I guess we'll see like how they want to schedule it because I don't know. It seems pretty awkward. Like just slotting it in, not in November. Like slotting it in like between stages.
Yeah, because you'll need a few weeks for the qualification too, right? Like last World Cup, they had like a 2-week. Where was last World Cup during Overwatch League?
Yeah, it was. It was like between. I was after midseason. Took up a lot of time.
Because loads of people were having to play on ping, right?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Kevster and Sparker had to play for Sweden on like 150 ping or something for some of their qualifiers.
But I think they'll do something similar. They'll really early, like 2-week qualifiers.
So like committee submissions.
Fuck, scrims are going to be an absolute ball ache as well, aren't they? Because everyone's going to... it is what it is.
Chris, just pick the same guys as last year. And then that's
It's just next again, bro. We need the specs culture higher.
Can't get scammed again, can he?
I mean,
We get
Cookie or
specs.
Kai? Cookie or Kai? Come on.
I think Cookie German.
What?
Yeah, Cookie's
I thought Cookie was
English,
from the UK. He's just a hit scan player from Europe, but I thought it was from the UK. You're telling me Cookie isn't from the UK?
He's
Yeah,
pretty German,
but-
yeah.
Yeah, it's super
Jesus
German,
Christ.
actually.
I've been under the impression for years. Who's the next best hit scan in the UK if not
Wait,
Kai?
does Kai play Overwatch anymore?
No, he quit.
Really?
I think
Yeah,
quit.
wait.
Oh,
Chris, don't worry,
It's
mate.
over then. It's over.
Do you,
He's
no,
like
don't worry. Do you
Backbone
know how many
and
players
Will.
have quit?
Yeah, it's fine.
Do you know how many times has a player retired from Overwatch and then we brought him back for Team UK anyway? I wouldn't worry about it.
No, I'll make it work. Will Backbone's a
He'll
class
find his way to the
player.
cave.
He will. He will.
All roads lead to the cave.
Kai's been offline for a month on my Battle.net, dude. Like, pack it up.
That's not a good sign, is it?
That's actually good.
That's not a good sign.
That's fine. I mean, Smex didn't have the game installed when we went to the World Cup, so
Yeah.
anything else to add about the World Cup? I guess it really devil in the detail and all that, and I'm sure that will come probably significantly later down the line in terms of announcements.
Yeah, I don't really have anything, especially just like you guys see the details, and I mean, I kind of expected it to come back. So like, I'm not like, oh my god, it's back. It's like if there's a BlizzCon, I kind of expected them to do something there, especially
Yes.
since World Cup is always like so loved. So yeah, I mean, back.
It's too good
I-
for them to give up. It's like such an easy
Yeah,
win,
it's-
you know, to bring it back.
It's like the only reason there wasn't World Cup this year or the last year is because there wasn't a BlizzCon. It's like that's the only reason I see it. It's not because we're gonna do BlizzCon so we can do World Cup. No, that's not how it works.
Yeah, I think the World Cup was the driving factor behind the decision for BlizzCon. It definitely wasn't all the other stuff. I think we can feel that.
It's front and center on the graphic, mate.
That's it was so funny when we were waiting for the announcement so we could post the OWTV article, and then so we were like refreshing all the Twitters, so you know, let Blizzard go first, and then the article goes live on their website, and I'm like, all right, here, and then I'm looking at the article, and I'm scrolling, like, do they even mention the World Cup in here? Is it really happening? What's going on? And then I find the graphic like halfway down the article, like 4 paragraphs in. I'm like,
Send that.
we're back. Send it. We're technically there. Here we go. Sale, charity night. There we go.
There it is.
5
There it
graphics
is.
down.
What's in store?
All right, then we'll probably, I say probably, I would say definitely. We'll definitely do another episode before Stockholm where we'll sort of delve into a lot more of predictions, and obviously everyone's going to be boot camping and such beforehand. I think most teams already have theirs booked and are probably starting probably about a week's time. That sound about right for most teams' boot camps?
Yeah, I don't think no one's really scrimming right now because people are thinking
chilling.
the patches out.
Letting the
They're really
Koreans
waiting for the
take this
patch.
one. You got this.
They'll figure it
You
out.
got it easy this time. Well,
All right, so then we need some clients of the week. Anyone got any nominations?
Hawk, you got one for us?
No, I think you do.
I don't.
I think you might.
Maybe we'll do that one next week, I guess. Someone's done something clienty, presumably.
Kjo.
Kjo, probably.
Oh, what, the 3K course? For those who don't know, we got some unsolicited advice from Kjor about the OWTV YouTube channel, in which he cites a $3,000 YouTube course he paid for to help him be better at the tube. He said it was worth every penny, which he
Really?
gave a lot of advice. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not a financial expert, but I'd recommend not paying £3,000 for a course on YouTube.
I don't know. If I've learned one thing in my 20-something years on this earth. I'm starting to forget the specifics of the number. It's that anytime somebody tries to sell me a course on the internet, I'm morally obliged to buy it because it is going to improve my life and it is going to teach me a lot. So buy courses that get sold to you online for extortionate amounts of money and then convince yourself that it's worthwhile. There are no resources online to learn things for free. So you have to pay somebody else to spoon feed you the information.
Agreed.
There's also a price
Anyway, subscribe to
correlation
Patreon,
there.
by the way, guys.
Yeah, but we're not promising to sell anything on Patreon.
We're not teaching you anything. We're giving you a 1 day early access to what we're talking about right now. It does what it says on the tin, you know? And like, what is our 1 day early access worth? Eight quid a month, something like that. $8 US. 10. Yeah, it's $8, $10, something like that.
I think it's worth more than that, really. I think you're getting a bargain.
I frankly think we are underpriced, but
Agreed.
3,000 great British pounds, and that is a fucking strong currency for those in the audience to learn how to do YouTube. I mean, I get the feeling that there might be some free resources out there that can tell you that the total addressable market for Overwatch is kind of small.
Should we add a tier on Patreon where we do like a 2K YouTube course or something and we undercut the market?
I was thinking we should oversell, because what I was trying to say is that the higher the price, the better the quality of the teaching, because you can't learn anything for free on the internet. So we should charge 4,000 great British pounds, and there's a reasonable chance that even after listening to this, K-Draw will still buy it from us.
I'm so excited to see those dollars hit our bank account when K-Draw buys this episode early.
He's going to be
refunded.
He's paid for the privilege of getting flamed 1 day sooner than scheduled.
Do you think that's part of the YouTube course? This guy was like, all you need to do to build YouTube is just keep making AI videos of Chris every time he loses, but this one will get likes, okay? Like, this one will be fucking funny. Presumably that must be like chapter 7 or something. Fucking, he's doing numbers.
Networking, mate. Networking.
Yeah.
Nothing says networking like sending AI videos of people to them. That's how you know. That's how you get in their good books. Anything else to add? Any other nominees?
Let's just go one nominee, one winner, move on.
That's it. Yeah, it's been a fucking long one today, boys. We hit 3 hours or what? Is that 3 hours?
We haven't done this in ages, but you said at the start,
I did. I knew it.
Gator
I saw
episode was legendary.
Yeah.
And we needed to meet it.
I didn't live up to it. I didn't say anything spicy.
It was
No,
boring
it was
as
good,
fuck,
mate.
but at
It
least we
was
got
good.
some. At least we got some length.
Good. This is one of the
There's more
better
length
episodes
than
we've done in
girth, but
ages.
we'll pay it. Yeah, this is better than crispy, mate. Like you
Yeah.
don't know what it's like. We should bring back Rank the Guest, actually. You know,
We should actually.
I'm down low.
Hawk's above Danny.
No.
He's above Danny. He's above Crispy. Done.
Honestly,
You
I
were
feel
good
like
until we went to EU, and then you just clocked out. You know, but that's.
I mean, like, I don't have anything to say
What's he
about
gonna
you.
do
Like,
with
I'm-
that? Yeah.
You gotta talk about
exactly.
you gotta talk about Peps for like, oh, these guys just like won a game that like, they should have. I mean, they could have easily won, but we'll never know. It's like, okay, whatever. Like, I don't even know. I don't even know how to rate them. Like, I don't know anything about their
podcast
players.
Would be shit.
might
Here's the
be good.
results. Could have won. Who fucking knows? Yeah, they won. He's
Yeah,
shit.
I mean,
All right, see you
I'm
later.
aware, but like, it was so wild to see him like play the game 45. Like, I don't even know what to say about that.
you're saying we should bring back Rank the Guest. Hawk has just introduced Rank the podcast he's just been on while the podcast is still going.
How did this compare to History in the Making yesterday?
History of the Making, it was better, but like, yeah,
This was
that's
better, or History in the Making was better?
No, this
Which
this
one was
is better. We talked about the game History of the Making, but we talked more
What
about
about
the
Plat
esport
Chat?
in
You've
this.
done Plat Chat too, right? Put all three of them in rankings.
Yeah.
Rank the podcast.
Uncoachable, History of the Making, Plat Chat.
Come on.
Sweet.
Wow.
Thank
We've
you.
made it.
We're so back.
We are
Yeah.
so back.
Client of the week, the Zocorp guy. Like, is that even client, or is that just like another breed entirely? Like, should we just not even touch that with a 10-foot pole?
Nah, fuck him. That guy.
I don't even know what that
yeah.
is. I don't know what that
wins.
is.
Yeah.
I do think it's kind of funny that he denied all the allegations and then has deleted all of his social platforms and all the org social platforms. That seems like a red flag.
Did he deny it?
Yeah, I think he made a post denying
He
it.
made like a classic like Google Doc for a Google Doc sort of back and forth type thing about just trying to respin the narrative. But if you find yourself in such a situation and would like to respin narrative, our very own Max will offer you a Spin Doctor course for $3,000. And I
No, this one
promise you
is
it worth-
5,000. This one is 5,000 Great British
Oh,
pounds. To spin you out of this
okay.
hole, that's bare minimum 5,000. Like,
Oh, it's you have to price up the hole they need spinning out of, and then this is.
I mean, you sell based on the level of desperation of your clients, right? And this guy, his back is to the wall. Like, this is third point defense. He's desperate.
all right.
He's not losing. He's going for trades for the next 5 minutes. Even though he will not lose this point. I don't even know the story you're talking about. I don't even know what's happening.
Perfect ending.
Oh, before we forget,
Red Eyes.
thank you, Red Eyes.
mate.
Thank you,
You
Red
are
Eyes,
the
mate.
greatest person
Felix,
in my
thank you very
life.
much.
You are the best.
Honestly, Red Eyes, yeah, you've got it.
One of the good ones.